Howdy, folks. Welcome back to Whims of the Creator. I am J3 Puffin, joined by co-hosts Blank
Hi.
and Kaze.
Hello.
And we are here for part 3 of Phase Connect, and we are starting with, I think, maybe the most widely known Phase Connect member.
I'm pretty sure even I've heard of her, actually.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and let Blank read this card, but we'll talk about her some a little bit more later. Feel free, Blank.
Okay. This is Pippa Pipkin, and she is a level 0 assist. 1,000 power to level 0s. That's nice. When your CX is placed in your CX area, reveal the top card of your deck. If it is a level 0 or lower character, put it into your stock.
Right. More
Okay.
stock.
So,
I'll
here's...
let you go for a second here, and I'll have my rant after.
Okay, alright. I just have to say this. I have a friend who is a very wonderful person and a very unique deck creator. And he has been wanting to play around with this bottom ability from Shiny Colors set 1.
Oh.
He's been wanting to play with that card for forever, but they didn't have quite the card quality or the level 0 combos to pull it off. Now, with set 2, they do. It's 8 bar, so you always have one in hand. The only non-level 0 characters that are in the entire deck are the 1/1 that heals when you trigger a climax and you can discard a climax to heal.
Right.
Because you're on 8 bar.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe it is 4 copies of the Megumi. Is it Megumi? Is it? Oh, dude, I'm gonna hate myself if I got that wrong. It is an insane off finisher that says if you have 3 different colored cards in your level, on attack, pay 2, discard 1, and either burn 3 or burn 1 twice. That's non-climax combo, by the way. So, he slaps one of this card's profile in the back row and then just does his level 0 combos. Because his level 0 combos, both of them on bar, are check 3, add a character. That's what it does. Because the set 1 had
Deck speed, consistency. I love this concept. This is so cool.
Yeah, oh no, he does play another level 3, and it's of the same girl that's on the level 0, because it's his favorite. And it's like a card that can heal twice.
Oh.
It's like heal on play, and then like on attack pay 2. If you hit a top check, you heal again.
Oh.
But because you have so much stock and you're so compressed and you have the 1/1s, like it doesn't matter. You don't die. That deck doesn't die, and Megami is strong enough of an off finisher to carry on her own. But the reason it's possible is because of this bottom line of text and having level 0 combos, basically.
Right.
You don't even have to be on the backstage. You could just pull board 4 of this. You can potentially dig 4 deep into your deck, assuming you had that many zeros on top, which I assume is the experience that your friend is going to have with his particular build. Yeah. Not that I've done similar with this yet, but that sounds extremely funny.
It's really cool.
This also augments the restand combo, by the way.
Yeah.
Dude, how does it... Are you... Oh my... I'm gonna scream. So...
It takes 2 lanes to get 14k.
Oh, but by the way, with that restand combo, you might not even care about using the climax combo for the restand. You might just go for the reverse and then just have like 12 stock and then trigger 4 of the parties.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
This card is nuts. Like, this profile can be insanely strong. I think JB said it is only 1 level 0 combo in set 1, but it's on a stock soul. So you do the stock soul to, like, you get the 1 stock to selectively put one in there, and then you just, like, flip over 3 zeros, or how many ever these you put on board at a time. It's just, like, free real estate. It's free real estate. If you play into Phase Connect, you better pray to whoever your god is that you have a stock swap, or you're cooked, brother.
Yeah, that
Stock swap? And zone bombs on cost or level zeros.
Yeah, we're not keeping that bottom effect. I'm just gonna say that now. Like, it would have been fun if we hadn't made such a highlight of how, in green, talking about how, yeah, no stock impressions are an issue. Yeah, no, this doesn't need that bottom effect. What I went looking for level 0 support that wasn't just like the Luna, and I found this card. This profile exists in like ordinal scale, and I was like, oh yeah, this looks pretty good. And then obviously we had not made the connection that, oh, by the way, we have like a bajillion cards that are going to stock, and people aren't just gonna monkey brain when they can keep getting all this clean stock together because they're not like me. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, we can't let it have this, especially because the assist is also for level zeros is also a cross turn and affects every Tenma, which like
There's
10.
one thing, if you don't mind going up and pulling up slide number 31. It's not the most impactful thing, but it is a very,
Yes.
very interesting interaction with this card. It's not like the most crazy, but it is very funny.
Yeah, you get her to like a base level 1 lineup with the back row, and also wait, yeah, that goes up to like, yeah, she gets to like 10-5 just without any investment. That was intentional.
It upscales really well with this card.
Yeah, that part is intentional because they are part of the same gen. We have a noticeable theme of level zeros for origins because they're the start. They start at 0. And Pippa, I think, is the member that is most about level zeros in this set, but we don't need the stock compression for playing all the utility cards that you already want to be playing anyway. We could trap that and find something else for this card to do, just not making a Luna clone, because Luna wasn't an uncommon slot at that profile from what I remember. It was like a common when they printed that card in set 1, Hololive.
Okay, so this, like, at a baseline, this card's cool because, like I said, my friend built an entire deck around this thing. It's just in this set that's already got like too much like clean stock generation. It's just too much.
Yep.
But as a base profile, it's really cool, I think.
This profile is so good and it's so sick. But in the context of this set, it is so incredibly pushed, and it enables a lot more shenanigans than you would normally expect from most sets.
Mhm.
Like this was one of the problem cards. I don't think this card in of itself is as egregious as some of the others, but it's like when you hit a critical mass of effects that do these benefits,
Yep.
that's when it becomes a problem.
Oh, dude, actually, so you put this in the back row with Chloe, the Chloe combo, and you can essentially like re-roll to see if you get the stock or not.
Oh
That way
my
you hit your
god.
first Chloe either way. Because it's if it's a 0, it goes to
It's a
stock,
stock.
and if it's a level 1 or higher, you just attack with a Chloe and you hit the stock anyway.
Gaming hours.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Gaming,
That's pretty good.
gaming.
That was actually that is like a problem that happens enough times. It's like, yeah, that.
When you play the Aqua Ricky, you look at the top two. If you see you have two clean or two zeros, then you're like, okay, cool. When I slam this climax, I just move these two to my stock, and then I'm chilling. And and your Aqua Ricky is swinging with extra 2K power.
Dude, the Aqua Ricky is so cracked. I feel like that's the card that's like cracked, but is not like game shattering enough to take it out of the set. I think it just is really, really good. Do you know what I mean? Like
It's
you're gonna play 4 of it in everything, but it's not to the point where we're gonna take it out of the set.
It's
You know what I
not
mean?
the funny thing is it's not the problem card. It just helps everything else work. That
it's
is it's
That's what
like
I'm
all of
saying.
your other egregious tools are just like smoothed out and like even more egregious because that card exists. I don't even think that this set like loses anything if you like take away the Akureki. Like
yeah.
it's like I think the Aguriki's fine, especially given like it has the split timings and stuff. Like it's all fine, but like again, critical mass of clean stock generation on top of having tools to utilize the stock for various reasons, even if it's just like fixing your deck state with the event, or using that extra stock for extra burn twos, or like a bunch of early plays and healing loops and shenanigans like that. Like, yeah, this set has a lot of the things that you would want, and some of the cards that you have just just that critical mass of card economy from things that don't have to find climaxes to do it, and it's pretty cool.
Man, stock soul on this is just like a
Oh God,
free
yeah,
2 stock, bro.
yeah, yeah. I did not play with this
I
card nearly
might
enough.
not have sent a 8 stock soul list to JB and shared it.
8 stock soul, you play the Kaleido event, so you can play the level 1 that has the free salvage on it, and it's just like, oh, okay, well, I have stock in hand. I might as well play 2 finishers.
Pretty much.
I might as well play 2 finishers.
Wait,
Imagine being
no.
so privileged of a set that you just have like, oh, I don't need other stuff. I just 2 finishers.
He's not even
That was
he's not even on that stock soul though. He's on the other stock soul. He's on the level 0 combo stock soul.
He hasn't even seen that one yet.
Yeah.
well, yeah, but we talked about what it does
Yeah.
out of thing.
I spoiled him slightly because I kind of made the card partially thinking of him in mind, just like, you know.
Oh my god, can we do it? Can you put the meme in this time?
Non-stop Nimmy Nightmare.
Oh well, all right. Next card. This is wary Pippa Pipkin because she's rabbits are very concerned about things in life. When this card is placed on the stage from hand, you may drop a level 0 or lower card from your hand. If you do, pick up a copy of the event that I forgot to put on the slide, or a level 1 character in your waiting room, and return it to your hand. The event I am going to grab from my files, but it's the Phase Origins event. It's the 1/1, both free fresh, that also has an alarm effect on it. There is a Love Live Sunshine card, I believe, that looks kind of like this, but it's not the same. The modifications were made.
There's a card in Slime. I think it's set 2. Is it Soka? The lizard girl who turns into an absolute babe after her name transformation thing and does not get nearly enough screen time. She has a card that's just like, yeah, discard a 2 or higher and go search your deck for like a character. So that's what gives me this vibes.
Mm-hmm. That is
Notable that this is like useful with the red level 1 route. I didn't feel like I necessarily needed this majority of the time, but it's a decent card. Card filter is like nice. The fact that you can discard climax, given that it's level 0 or lower card, is useful. And phase origins being like one of the few methods. I think it is the only decompression tool in the set, but it's like fake decompression. So it's like you can slot this in each, a little bit of blue, this, and then you have routes to get to phase origins, so you have the decompression.
I mean, this card's definitely better than the Sokka. It's the Sokka. If I ever put it in a list, which I don't think I ever did, I was coping. This one can discard climaxes and can get an event that has like actual utility. Being restricted by levels like a little, I mean, it's still good. Like level 0s you play a lot of, so it's still like half your deck most of the time.
Yep.
Or more if you keep the previous card the way it is. We just only play that. Go stock gen forever. Let's go.
You're gonna see a lot about level 0s. That is relevant text. So I think it's fine. Like the condition for it will be met a majority of the time.
I think I'll give it this precautiously. I'm still not 100% sold on the Origins event. I know it's like quote unquote decompression stuff, but I'm just like, I don't know if I care enough to even do this. Because like Fumio already, I think, has maybe in my 5 years playing Weiss now, won me like 2 games in all the games I play. Like actually going for Fumio turned a guaranteed my opponent's going to cancel out into I have a chance now. And it's like, I think it's won me games twice ever.
I've played like 12-ish years, and I honestly have about the same amount of experience with Fumio's winning me games like that. It's like I can count it on one hand.
That's what I mean. It's
Yeah.
like so do I even bother for this Origins event? Like getting a level 1 character is like all right, I guess. I guess depends on if you have combo in there or like some good auxiliary ones. I mean, we know they exist.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it this cautiously, I guess.
Yeah, the ability to grab an event that has an alarm effect on it is cool in and of itself, but yeah, it's definitely just kind of a little bit of extra text thrown on the original profile, which I believe was like didn't have the event name. It was just pitch a level 0 lore to grab a level 1 character.
That sounds old enough to be a Love Life Sunshine card, yeah.
It was WE27.
Jesus.
Yeah.
A reminder on the phase origins, it is a both players refresh their or shuffle their waiting rooms back into their deck, and then the alarm text is discard 2, draw 2 at the start of
Climax phase.
just a reminder text for those who didn't see it in the earlier videos or might have forbore.
Yeah.
Forgore.
A little bit bigger, because yeah, we won't be seeing it again later. Yeah. So just a little bit more about no, actually the next card is probably the best place to talk about Pippa as a streamer, actually.
This card is funny. Right, totally not a threat. Pippa Pipkin. Climax combo is within Minecraft, which is a door combo. 4,500 base line with the on turn. If you have 2 or more other face connect characters, you get 2k extra. So you swing at 7k with Climax combo, 6-5 otherwise, and 4-5 on defense. And the auto ability for the Climax combo is on reverse. If in Minecraft is in your Climax area, put the top 3 cards of your deck into the waiting room and then choose up to X phase connect characters in your waiting room, return them to your hand. X is equal to the number of level 0 characters put into your waiting room by this effect. Did you ever want to go plus on your hand size to an exuberant amount, or did you want to mandatorily mill 3 cards? Sometimes that's okay. Sometimes you might go into a refresh and you'd be mildly sad. But this one can go kind of hard when you have a little bit of nothing. And it kind of gives you a lot of card filter. And it kind of gets you a lot of deck speed. This one's really hard to evaluate because there's been some situations where it's like one of the most absurd things. Sometimes you were forced into a situation where you can only do 1 combo, so that way you can get a couple of pluses. But honestly, it doesn't really matter when your secondary lane is already salvaging a card, and then your other lane is already giving you stock. And then you just use this as your other augmented plussing option, and then you're like, okay, cool, I milled a couple of zeros, and then you're like, all right, cool, I get a couple of salvages. I have a tough time evaluating this card because I've had many different experiences, and I feel like it's a very specific build around, so that way you get your ratios right. And it also needs an on reverse, so like it has some things going against it, but it also can be an absurd plus. Where in the hell did you find this profile? And please explain it to me.
All right, so the combo.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
Let's see. The word you've written, I'm not sure if you are, but.
So, okay. So, what I know this kind of thing from is High Elf Archer from Goblin Slayer. Has a similar, like, on reverse plus a bajillion hand because it's free 99. It's free real estate. Except the Archer girl doesn't have a power condition, which is so weird for an on reverse combo. So he's just like, okay, but what if I gave it a real line of text? Is basically what he said. He's like, what if I made this a real card?
That isn't how we got there. I am just gonna run and check the
Oh wait, no.
the Archer real fast because I need to remind
No,
myself about
okay.
something.
It's both players cannot play this the same event on a turn. So
Yeah.
you can play one copy, but you can't play like 2 torches in a turn. You can only play 1 torch in a turn,
Yeah,
which is interesting.
Yeah. Also, yeah, she swings at 5K. Also, she checks for soul triggers,
Well, triggers.
which
Yeah.
that makes sense for the shot deck. What this card is from? This combo is from Psychono Set 1.
This makes sense.
I wanted to build a level 0 deck, or I either saw this combo and realized that this was why I wanted Pippa to be level 0 focused, or I wanted a level 0 focused combo, went and found the Psychono one, being like, yeah, this tracks. And then I checked I changed the condition on it because I didn't like the condition that she had, I think. But I tried to keep it within the same power line so that I didn't have to bump up the rarity because I didn't want it to be like her double rare because I wanted the Pippa double rare to be something different. I don't know. That she gets one in set 2. I'm pretty sure she's one of the. She doesn't have it here. I messed around with this card a little bit because I was trying to get a read on it, and it is a card. Like I definitely wasn't playing into nearly as much of the like auxiliary plussing tools as I should have been. But with those, it's pretty solid by itself. It is a real swing and a miss.
I think in the context of this set, I don't think you ever touch this combo unless you just really, really wanted to be in on door or just really, really like Pippa.
Which I
Like,
mean, respectable.
it's fine. Like you can go that route, but it's definitely much more build around than the other ones ever felt like.
Mhm.
And so, like, I never felt the desire to build into this combo, like hardcore. It was just like I need to build everything, and so I'll try it and see. But this felt like the most like niche routing. Like
Oh, it's on.
the way I would have gone about it, I think now would be like using the level 0 combo that shall not be named yet, and then like using this, and then using off finishing routes with just like a couple of copies of 3s. I never got around to like finishing that route. And like even then I like when I'm theory crafting in my head, I'm just like, I don't even want to try to play this because it just seems like a miserable experience a majority of the games.
Okay. You make the lineup like mostly level 0s, right? And then you play 4 of the Snake Girl, and then you dump your entire hand to send all of the copies to stock. And then you play this and you refill your hand back up. And now we're the greatest of all time.
Pretty much, yeah. That's that's the line.
And then your end game is the level 0 on board that's a level 3 in your deck.
Yeah.
Which
Yes.
that was one of the saddest things in my head when I realized. I was like, yeah, this will, Tenma and Pippa, they're like the dynamic duo. Their cards should go to wait a fucking second. Which is why, like, the
Yeah.
level 0 assist being on Pippa and then the Tenma being a bunch of level 0s. That, at least, was, like, intentional design. Because those two are very good friends.
Like don't get me wrong, I like the synergy between all the different cards. Like it's so cool to see like a set that has a lot of routings to stuff. But it's like holy smokes, like there's so many really strong things you can do.
There's so much competition.
This is definitely the worst level 1 combo we've seen. Like, by a pretty significant margin, I feel.
And it still can go +3.
Dude, do you know about the Rocket Raccoon combo?
Oh god, I've seen it referenced. I've seen it talked about. I don't remember him off the top of my head for sure because it's Marvel.
Guardians of the Galaxy 8 Wind is a very funny deck. My friend bought it because it finally came out in a language he can read, and he refuses to play JP cards for reasons, I guess. Rocket Raccoon is on attack. Your opponent mills 3, and then if there's a climax there, you look at the top 3 cards of your deck and you add all characters to hand.
Oh fuck, that's so much funnier. Oh my god.
It is so much funnier. And also, milling your opponent out with this works into the climax name.
Yeah. get the vibe of what
I think we're editing this combo on the fly, folks. Like, holy smokes.
No. I don't know. No, because I feel like we can have a card that isn't as good. Also, I would have to check the rare.
Hey, but the
counter
the Rocket Raccoon, even if it was I was about to say, I don't think this Rocket Raccoon is a double rare. And if it is, yikes. Because it can still just whiff. Like, you can't just push your opponent towards a cancel.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could just be 3 clean, and then you're like, okay, cool. Then they cancel, then you're going super minus.
Yeah, like I think it gives the same vibe without an A, you don't need a reverse. And B, yeah, it doesn't play into like the level 0 stuff, but we're changing one of the cards already. The other part of the level 0 with the Tenma stuff doesn't work with this because you cannot say that Tenma is level 0 in
Waiting room.
all zones
Yeah.
but hand or whatever, because standby exists, and that means you could stand by at that 3/2 at level
Yeah, I
0.
was thinking about I was actually thinking about maybe like X equals the number of level 0 or lower characters or characters with Tenma Miami in their name or something like that. The wording that would have come to my brain just was a little bit too awkward to figure out. If you played it like that would make the door 2 soul a little bit more attractive, but like simultaneously it's like we don't need to go that hard. I am perfectly comfortable with like we already have a bajillion good level 1 combos, and we're going to only get more combos in the next set because there is going to be a sequel. So she takes an L here, which is fine because it means that it gives her time to be a little bit salty about what she loves being salty. She's a very internet coded individual. She enjoys a good mold. She can have a good mold.
It's on a door. Also, the climax name is very strong. I need you to print whatever combo you print for her in set 2 to be on the same climax.
Oh, we're not doubling combo. It's fine. But
no, bro, in Minecraft.
Here's
also, oh my god, dude, you do the Rocket Raccoon thing, and you kill your opponent by refreshing them by milling them 9 cards on the turn, and then you just say KYS, and then you just put in Minecraft.
So the reason that she's saying in Minecraft, by the way, is one of my favorite quotes from a person in general. She was having a gamer moment, and she screamed about shooting up a Walmart in Minecraft.
In Minecraft. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, which is why
I
we
see
have
she's
the card
in
art.
front of the
Yeah.
Walmart.
And that's when then you see her when she's crawling through the screen on the climax art. There's a Walmart behind her.
Oh my god. We didn't even get into the lore on this card yet, did we? Oh, or on this character.
That's the thing, that the lore for her is that she is a very silly internet rabbit. My god. So she used to be like, there was a point in her career where she was trying to be like a lot more like super cute, while still bleeding into sort of. I think she still had quite a bit of that like latent toxicity to her. It's just that she's doing her best to kind of mask it, and now she is simultaneously both like mask off and like more tame because she's been doing this for a while. She's been around. She's gotten older. She's gotten more like mature as a person. So she's not quite the same degree. And also because like Phase Connect as a company has been doing better, I feel like she's just had a bit less of a strain on her compared to when she was starting off and being like, oh god, like what is this? I feel like I've been scammed into joining some kind of a weird thing. Yeah, she's doing a lot better, but she's also still just like the funniest little creature.
And she looks criminal to me.
Oh,
like,
also
the guns, and in the next art we're gonna see she's all about them weapons.
Yeah, she's also a sapling blank.
Goat.
Yeah,
true king.
She is a huge she's a huge Hololive fan, which is funny because she'll just be talking about Hololive stuff like on stream. That's like, normally you don't see that as often because I watched like my main other experience is Hololive, and it's like, oh yeah, you don't really see them talking as much about like their competitors, and then you go to Phase Connect and there's like you can there are streams where it's sometimes just all about the Hololives, and it's fun. It's nice to hear about. She talks about getting their merch and stuff, and which also meant that like when like the graduation started hitting, like you could see like them like shifting their stream schedules around, like canceling stuff to be like, no, I'm gonna take a day for myself. I need to process this kind of shit. Like it's pretty wholesome, honestly. Which is part of why I was thinking about making like VTuber like a global tree, and then realizing I would rather not. For my sanity as a custom set designer, because I have other
Very,
VTuber cards I want to print.
very large can of worms that you're. I mean, you're already opening a can of worms with this set, and then it's like, oh, and VTuber trait. Now we have to balance around whatever or other VTuber you want to do, because you made like a whole one based on indies, right?
I am working on that one still. Like I went to like do a rework on that one, and in the like reworking phase, kind of took priority because I was like I was still in my head like, well, actually, if I'm gonna make them standard, and I realized I'm not gonna put them together, but hypothetically in like a standard environment, if I let the VTuber independent cards hit on a VTuber trait still, you could just play a pile of Phase Connect stuff, just like the most broken stuff in Phase Connect with that, and that would probably be a little bit too much. So, we're still thinking through that one. Just a
Man,
little.
imagine somebody being okay with custom sets and playing it. Like that's already a kind of high bar, especially for if you're trying to get a new player to let you play a custom. Now you're like, oh, let's play custom set
That's
standard. And
I
it's like,
want
what?
I want to see it because I want to see like someone build like a pile of the Toho sets or something like that. Like I want to see like
So funny.
there's like four Toho set project sets, and it's like, yeah, let's just see someone glue together all of them. They're all standard legal together because they're all the same property. They don't hit on like the same traits or anything. They're all doing completely different things. Some of them were made in like a cave with a box of scraps, while some of them were made by people who actually kind of knew where they were doing. It's like, oh god, it'd be beautiful.
Meanwhile, I'm adding like 200 cards to the music tree.
Yeah.
No, don't do that. Anything but music trade.
At least it's not the only trade, man. It's fine. It's like
So
Bochi.
true. So true.
It's like Bochi that
It's
can't get trait wiped.
Bochi that can't get trade wiped is insane.
Anyway, last rabbit card.
Okay, this is put 'em up. Pippa Pipkin. If you have two or more of the phase connect, gets 1,000. When this card's placed on the stage from hand, you put the top two cards in your deck in a waiting room. Deal X damage to your opponent. X is equal to number level 0 characters among those cards. JB,
Yes.
because this is an on-play burn thing, that you can't go like fully infinite, but you can do a lot of main phase damage now with this, the stock charging and the Ricky.
Yay! We're getting to red! Hooray!
Yeah, that's fair.
Because like the level 0 Ram
Hmm.
is a thing. Also, the Ricky checks for zeros for this, just like
Yep.
inherently.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, okay, we'll do this. And then it's like, oh, I hit the 2 zeros. Now I'll do the Ricky effect because I played over it with this card. And now it's just like, oh, okay. Because when I first read this, I was like, oh, this is okay. This is cute. It's kind of fine. And then I realized, like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
I forgot. There's so much stock in this set.
yeah.
Oh no.
Oh god, wait. Oh no. Oh no.
And then you like Ram to like, oh, I drew a card and discarded it. And then it's like, oh, and now I Ram and I pick up this again, and then I play it again. And then I
God.
keep doing it all forever because I have infinite resources because there's so much stock generation.
Yeah, this was like in my head, like this was the card that's like, oh yeah, you're doing this with the Tenma. And that's how you're actually getting like the finisher off the Tenma. That's like, wait a minute. Also, this is another Love Life Miracle Life card.
Yeah, this is
I
a
mean, this makes sense.
this profile is like fine in most sets, but again, it's you reach that critical mass of information card building or like routing, and then like absurd amount of stock, and then you're like, all right, cool. Let's get some augmented finishing routes, and then you're like, cool, I get extra packets of damage. It's kind of why you don't really have to worry about too much in the decompression world because you're getting a bunch of packets of damage from the routes that you have. It's kind of sick.
Yeah, that is the trade-off, right? Is that this is not a set that is going to be able to you're going to need to be able to chew through climaxes against another high compression opponent, but simultaneously, there's definitely more than enough tools to get you there.
But in games where they don't have the route to compress,
it's just brutal.
or if they just you just absolutely steamroll it, like with the majority of the top end in this,
yep,
it's disgusting.
I'm not gonna lie. There was a point I had this as just like a flat 11k with the on play and nothing else.
Oh, I mean, yeah. To be fair, the first condition just feels tacked on.
Yeah, like I was perfectly fine just leaving
like
it at that for a while and being like, yeah, it's a common, it's main phase burn, it'll do something. Now it's like, oh wait, no, we can't even. I'm not even sure if we could maybe I'm gonna put this as a question mark for my personal records. Maybe with the other nerfs we're going to do to stuff, it'll end up okay. Right now, it definitely might need to be something else.
So Arifureta would do like a similar thing, right? Like their finisher might not be the most like super insane thing ever. Like, all right, we're playing this like if I trigger a soul trigger, burn one, or the on attack restand, which admittedly has some other stock related bullshit going for it.
Yep.
But say like that card didn't exist and you wanted to just do your main phase instead. Arifureta would just play down their dual-timed Ricky to keep their hand up and slam the early play burn one over and over. But they wouldn't even early play it. They would just play it to augment their finisher turn.
Yeah.
Because their finisher is just a restand. And I kind of like stuff like that, where you're playing this like more tactical finisher instead of something like Gura, which is just, oh, I do more instances than your deck is even allowed to cancel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I refresh so I can cancel all 12, right? It's like, well, good luck with that, Chief.
The cool thing about something like the main phase routes is it does put a lot more into how you as the player utilize resources throughout both the mid game and then this being at level 3 and it's not like the data live one where it's like you play and then you get the discard 2 burn 1 heal 1 or whatever. This one being a little bit more just on the offensive point and having to be played at level 3 from hand in order to do these effects. You don't get the benefit in standby routes, and just your routing has to be specific to get full benefit from it, and it's also not guaranteed to be multiple zeros. There's some that are just on play look or reveal top if it's a trait character burn 1. There's a couple of cards that are in that profile. This one milling 2 kind of gets better when you have deeper knowledge like you do with the Operiki, but you also have chances to whiff if you don't have the deeper knowledge in the deck. So I think overall this one's fine. It's just again, it's a card that can get more scary with the critical mass of stock generation. So if that gets reevaluated, this card can be much more reasonable.
That's what we're gonna work on.
These burn effect things are cool though. I've been looking for somebody to put that effect on a finisher that actually deals extra damage, because all the ones I find are they don't do another instance. They do something else weird. The one in The Day I Became a God is pay 1 shuffle back 4, which is good, but you're only swinging vanilla as your finisher, and you're playing the level 3 as the on play mill 2 burn for soul triggers in that deck specifically.
Yeah, the timing doesn't quite work out the way you'd want it to, yeah.
The orc card in Slime is I think it's stock an orc character and bounce one of your it's strange. I did find one in was it Sneaker 1? It's they has this effect and it's pay to burn something. And I was like, "Oh, that's sick." They actually printed one. But they don't print this effect on finishers nearly often enough. I think it would be cool.
I don't
Cool
think this
design
would ever
choice.
be printed on a common. I think this has to be in an uncommon slot.
Oh, I didn't even realize it was a common.
Yeah, no. The reason it's a common is like I pulled this card from the Miracle Life set at rarity.
No shot. That's wild. Okay.
Yeah,
Crazy.
because look, man. One thing that I tried to be careful about for more cards than not was the rarity matching, like trying to like not overcook on cards, like let commons be commons, let uncommons be uncommons. So like when I was cribbing profiles, I was going there, and if I was making something up, it was like trying to use existing stuff for a reference, like the Pico helmet, like the specific combination of abilities works out like really good in its favor, but it's still like in the ballpark because there are other similar cards that hit that rarity as like a common helmet that also feels like just good to play, that kind of thing. So this card, like I said, I may have changed the exact power condition, but they printed this burn effect on a common. They're fine with it. I can confirm that. All right, we're going to be burning through Candlelight as we go. On to our second character of the longest color. This is Rinkou Ashelia. I don't even know if that's how you pronounce her name. I just think of her as Leah, because that's what everyone calls her. When this card is placed on the stage from your hand, if you have another green character, she gets 2k till end of turn, so she'll swing at 3/5 as long as you have a green on board. When she's placed on stage from your hand, if you have another blue character, top check 2. Choose any 2 from among them, put them on top of your deck in A order, put the rest in your waiting room.
Wait a minute.
It's
You
more
printed
top knowledge.
2 mochas? You
I printed 2
of them?
mochas.
I mean,
This one doesn't have as much utility, but it works in red. But I always felt like I wanted yellow just so I could do like the color shenanigans because it like facilitated more.
That's fair. Yeah,
But it is relevant that you have double mocha on, so yes, you do have you can play 8 if you wanted to.
If I remember correctly, the original because this card exists like literally verbatim, except I switched the colors. I think she's a blue that does stuff on yellow and red or something like that.
dude, I'm so sad. I liked her vibe, but I think I'm like here.
Ooh.
Wait, you're going F? Oh.
Shit.
It's not good. I could give her this for being a cutie, I guess. Brother,
Really?
I mean. Okay, so this card has a condition to do the thing that your Aqua Ricky is doing without a condition.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then 2K is like not enough of a reason to try to play 2 mochas. Especially because the other condition like doesn't mean anything. Like the other, you imagine having both of them on board at level 0 when the 2K would actually be relevant for this card. I'm just like this is bad, man. Like the mocha is good, but are you gonna put deck slots for this when you
I can only see this in as a split with some of the blue routes, but like that's only if you wanted like a 5th or 6th self mocha. And I don't see that being the case in majority of routes.
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
This is so sad.
Yeah,
she's vibing.
They printed this card as like an uncommon, just with the colors switched around, which I find very interesting. They're like, yeah, this is about what it takes to put this as like a lower rarity card, and I agree. It is. It fits the slot. I like
her fit. I like her fit. But I think you should switch like rarity with the level 3 that we just read in this one, and then I think you're fine.
that would be. I'm pretty sure I gave her another common already. I'd have to do some extra finagling. I think I'd actually be more comfortable just changing the on play of the blue side to be something that is like a bit more tempting, because I do want to see this played. But it is funny that like we. that is just funny to me, the difference in ratings on this. I get it, absolutely. Like it's like, between the card that has more utility and it swings like 500 more than the baseline. Yay.
I like her fit. And the card art's cool.
The card art is very good, and I was so sad when when you started reading the text. I was like, no, bro, you made this card so ass.
Look, man, blame Bushy for. I guess it's not even like I think in the set that profile is from, it's actually better just because you don't have it competing with the Rookie for the same utility. We'll think about what else we could do with this card and if it actually needs something else. But
I was about to say, like, if you were just to print this as like a straight mocha, right? You just do the mocha. Zombielands is a common.
Hmm.
So you could put another effect, like you could keep the mocha and just put like another weak effect on this and get uncommon.
Hypothetically, the issue is that I want to have this color flavor going on where it's like the binary thing, because that is the gimmick that I've decided that I'm using for this character, is that she's RGB, because she is a computer virus.
Oh,
That's
that's
actually
cute.
tight. We're in going into dot hexel territory or shenanigans like that. I think if you wanted to utilize the like on turn power kind of shenanigans with this, you could have like a anti runner text on it or like anti bounce.
Oh, wait, that's cool. You could freeze their computer because she's the
Yeah,
virus.
there you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
I like that. That's cute. I love that,
All
actually.
three of us put something together here. That's sick. We fixed it.
Well, yeah, well, let me just
I mean, the real, like, killer for this, honestly, is getting this color stuff off at level 0 would be extraordinarily difficult.
I haven't been having
I
that
would
much
say
issue with it, honestly.
consistently, yeah. But I think you can have those games where it's like, cool, I got it to happen. It's kind of like those games where it's like, you know how some decks just play like one clean cut, and then like the games where they do draw the clean cut and it like gets you the plus that you wanted to, then like it works out. So like this is kind of in that world, but like that's still like
And also,
very,
your
it's
Aqua
very
Riki is your Aqua Riki is yellow, and this one is not. It doesn't hit search for yellow, despite having yellow, red, blue in her card art right here, right next to her head.
true. What's the green text in there for?
What's
Uh-oh.
he? Oh
Because
no,
her
brother!
tun's
Oh,
not
so
yellow.
cringe.
If it
No,
like,
bro, anti-flavor. You're going back to the F. I've decided.
look, man, we can't have. Look, she's printed. It's not even RG. It's not even like red, blue, yellow. It's CMYK coloring, right? It's printer coloring, but she's a computer virus. Don't blame me for them making this decision.
Yeah. Whatever helps you sleep at night, brother.
I'll need to see more context if I'm gonna go back on this one to reevaluate, but it's not great. It's not looking good, coach.
It's fun. Don't worry. Her very next card is significantly better. Yes.
Gone viral. Rinkou. How's that last one? Ashelia?
I also still don't know.
Ashelia. I think I'm gonna go with that. So it's a 500/0/0 with an auto ability of putting a card from your hand to the waiting room is the cost. When it's put to the stage from hand, you pay the cost. Reveal top card of your deck. Choose one level X or lower character in your waiting room. Add it to your hand. And if X is 2 or higher, you can draw, ditch, and X is equal to the revealed card. It is a Rico effect, and it is what I think Azure Lane had this
Oh
exact
my
profile,
God!
or was
It's
this
New Jersey. It's New Jersey.
this is
Yes,
Azure
it
Lane Part 2,
is.
right? Volume 2? Yeah.
I love New Jersey.
Yep.
It's literally the SP I put in the chat before this, by the way.
It literally is that card.
It's a really good profile.
I need to buy 4 of that SP eventually, even though I wish they'd use different art. I love New Jersey that much. I have so much fucking merch. Probably not a good thing. But this is my rating. I'm not changing my rating.
Yeah.
Bro, I've gone back and forth on how many Ricos I play in certain decks, and it's like I never know how many are supposed to be played in every list. Like usually ends up just being like a one of. Some decks you want more of, like if you're on bar or pants or something like that.
Azure Lane doesn't even really want that many of it, but I put 4 in my deck because it's got New Jersey on it. That's it.
Yep. This was a weird card to try to play into for me too. I haven't been running it terribly often either.
I will say,
Feel
like,
like-
typically in the red builds, you're like trying to do a lot of level zeros, and so like the level 2 or higher doesn't come up into play. But like it's not a hard plus in the regard of like how the Timorous in Bang Dream has like can give you the free stock and all that. So like it's not a game changing level 0 that can just randomly get you a plus if things go favorably. And so like that being said, it's not literally free stock or free hand that this set already has, so like you don't really need it. There's other better options, but the profile itself is solid. Might as well take it.
Even if this was a vanilla in this set, it'd be really good because the zeros are super cracked. And if you wanted to play something like with that level 3 we just looked at, the mill and for zeros, you can like spam a zero deck out of this.
Wait, also because if you see a 2 or higher, you're taking it off the top of your deck so that the Pippa is more likely to see a 0 when you play it
Yep.
next.
And the thing, the 2 or higher thing, if you're just playing level 3s, that means you just salvaged a Pippa instead, and then got it off of the top of your deck also, so now you have 2 Pippas in hand, most likely.
And as we
Oh,
know, 2
That's
Pippa...
such a W. You're right.
Yeah.
In that routing, that makes it that much better.
And as we know, 2 Pippa in the hand is worth 1 in the bush.
I think it's worth 2 on board.
I think it is worth 2 on board. I think it's also worth your opponent being at level 4 or 5 if they're Makane, or whatever that show's called. Talking about like the free stock thing, the first one I saw they printed like a Rico with an extra line of text on it, or extra like sub ability on it, was Grisaya set 3, and theirs literally was, if it's level 3, you just send it to stock.
Right.
So he could have made that, and I would have lambasted him even more.
Yeah, dear
Oh
God.
my
Can you
god.
imagine?
When I said that there was a critical mass, if you did that too on top of that, holy smokes.
It would no longer be a critical mass. Important note that Timoris isn't a Rico, it is a Cheery with that stock text.
Right, I should have clarified. I said 0 effects that plus. I should have clarified that it was a slightly different profile.
Yeah.
And one of the other Rico like effects that can get like kind of plussing in a sense is the Enna from Eurocamp. If it sees level 1 or higher, you can put the level 1 or higher under one of your tents.
Yeah.
Which is kind of neat. So like it's compression. It's like invisible compression or marker compression. So like that's kind of a method of I wouldn't say plussing, but you know, it's kind of nice little advantage.
Yeah.
That's dope.
It's cool having augmented abilities on Rico effects because they're good effects anyway.
We've got 2 more Leo cards. I'm very much looking forward to the one I get to read next. But
he could have also made the Spider-Man brainstorm to where if it
Oh,
mills and if it
God.
sees a copy of itself, like just make all of the like super like free stock effects and just put them all in the same set and just like, unless you got a stock swap, you never beaten me, brother. It's not happening.
I'm now wondering about a set that just does that and then it does nothing else on its game. Just like
Yeah, like all the finishers are like burn 1 on attack.
Yeah, just like the laziest shit.
You probably could beat most sets with it, which is the sad part.
Yep, because that's just how Weiss works. All right,
Stock compression good. Oh lord, do I have to make the sound effect for this?
Nah, I can. We all did it anyway. It's fun.
My voice is too deep to do like the proper bratty Sundar.
That's fair.
When this card's battle opponent, well, that and I'm really tired. When this card, it's a bomb. It's a level 0 bomb. When this card's battle opponent becomes reversed, if you have another phase connect character, you can choose a level 1 or lower. Oh, this is cool. Yeah, kill 2 fuckers.
Wait,
it's
the top line is not the bottom text. I need to fix that for them.
What?
The top effect says currently when this card's battle opponent becomes reversed, not when this card becomes reversed.
Oh, okay.
That's a typo.
Oh.
You knew what it meant.
As is, this card sucks. But as it's meant to be, this card is cool, but likely not worth running.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with that.
It opens up lanes. Yay.
Yeah, it's not even the only way you can do that in this set. Granted, it does kind of combo with that card, which we will get to in blue. there's this kind of like cool 1-2 punch where it's like you open up a direct lane and then that matters, but like by itself it's just a fun little combination of utilities that I thought was okay to put at common, even though when this card was originally being spitballed around in some other sets or other people talking about it, I feel like it would not have been just common rarity.
So they like the first one I saw of this was in Mishoku Tensei, that Eris, and like it was cool. I remember Carmen talking about this card, or like the kill in a little zero when you get a reverse thing, and he was like, "Look, this is very very niche. Like you have to be playing a standby deck that wants to go super slow, and you just want to play a standby from your hand." The problem is that like zeros are so cracked now. Killing a zero might just actually plus your opponent, and like killing 2 zeros is like potentially not hindering them at all.
You typically want to zone bomb if you have a method of doing that. So like sending them to waiting room is like one of the things you want to do least.
True.
And like this kind of like helps spoon things to the waiting room.
Yeah, there's the I guess there's a variant of this effect that's like puts them in a zone.
Yes, but not another character. It would be the card you reverse.
But then you would have to drop the power range, I think, on that as well. Another thing too is like, does her hair ever stay the same?
Oh, so she's had
she's
a good number of outfits. At first design was her debut design. She's gotten this as like another outfit. The next one isn't a real outfit. I don't know. I think the other one is just kind of cool art too. But yeah, I mean, like she's a computer virus, right? She can just change her appearance however the hell she wants, right? Just hack into the code, change some values.
The New Jersey card actually like reminds me of Project Sekai. They're like the virtual. What is Miku again? She's not a VTuber, but she's like, yeah, that one. She's got like the hairstyle a bit and like the vibe of one of the probably the she looks like she's in the Sad Girls Club actually.
Yes, which she is because she's a member of Phase Connect, the Sad Girls
but like,
Club.
Right, but I'm talking like the Sad Girls Club of Project Sekai.
Oh,
but
right.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I see. Yeah. Fun fact about Leah before we get into the card that I think we're gonna see some. Anyway, so she grew up going to like a Catholic school with the about what you would expect to happen from going to a Catholic school. Which is actually like this is what this haircut reminds me of. Is just thinking about like I could see that running around. It's like she's got like a little like the monk bowl cut kind of thing going on. But then you also she's wearing her collar. There's just a little bit of mixed messaging going on here. I think just a little bit.
Rip the Pope.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about our pixel perfect princess, Leah. If you have another green character in the middle possession of your center stage, all of your Phase Connect characters get plus 1500. The effect at the bottom is a level 3 effect, which is on play, draw 2, pitch 1. The middle effect. If you have another blue character in the middle possession of your center stage, this card gets 5500 power and the following ability. Pay 4, pitch 3 traded characters. When this card is frontal attacked, you may pay the cost. If you do, terminate the attack and proceed to the next attack declaration step.
We JoJo gamers over here.
Oh my god, somebody actually printed it. So somebody actually did it.
I absolutely love the art on this card. This is like one of the prettiest in this set.
I know, right?
It is so sick.
I like the art. It feels a little empty in the background, but the actual art itself is good. I need to talk about Golden Wind now. Oh lord.
Yep.
This is not where I thought this was going. Normally custom sets avoid Golden Wind like the plague. Okay. Terminate the attack is very funny. It's always been funny, and like this has a condition on it, sure. Actually, funnily enough, I still think the JoJo's one might actually be better for terminating the attack. Your opponent can turn this one off.
Uh-huh.
You just bounce the blue character, and then it doesn't have terminate the attack anymore.
Yeah, or the power. It's just a 6500.
You can pick it too. If you're in something like Ruby or like Fate or Restand.
Well, I was about to say, like, you could just clock kick this because it has to attack. They're like, Ruby doesn't even need to attack, at least at first. Like, you clock kick the blue character, and then you clock kick, or you could clock kick this if you want to rearrange your lanes differently.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what? Terminate the attack is a funny effect. And this set has way, 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 way more ways to get the resources for this. But because it's locked behind this condition that is so easily answerable, I still don't think it's good. The terminate the effect text is never going to work out, man. It's so sad.
The world where your dream world would be like left and right lanes. You have 2 pixel perfects, and then your center lanes are blue, and you've built up enough stock in hand so you can terminate 2 lanes.
You need like a blue combo with this to like build a bunch of advantage and then like gain hexproof through the opponent's turn, and that's the way this card would work.
Right,
There are methods. That is a real world that you can exist in. I wasn't speaking hypothetically, really, but the hexproof portion is absent from this world.
Yes, the
So
hexproof is
there
the
is
thing.
counterplay.
Yeah, we're not in the mode where I can just like give that freely. I can't see myself giving some hexproof around on top of all the other things I'm giving to the set.
Dude, you should make it on a split book combo. like you just play the book, and that way you riff on the hand, preferably with a phase connect character to pay for this cost. And then it's just like gain hexproof and on attack burn 1. And then you just make it like the most like simple thing ever, but you play into this.
Man, that would be funny. Unfortunately,
they just bounce this instead of the blue character, which is also sad.
Yeah, like it's one of those things. But I mean, I was just looking around and I was like, hey, what text can I put on this card? Because I saw this at the middle position bit, and I was like, okay, hold on a minute. So if I'm gonna put this on, what can I do that's really funny as like a defensive slanted ability? And it's like, all right, well, obviously we just have all this power to work with. And it's like, oh wait, the JoJo's thing only costs 500, huh? Sold.
You're getting a C plus for Crimson. That's where we're at right now. You also, I know we talked about this in Fire Emblem. You could make this the 2/1 broccoli. Broccoli.
Yeah, I could.
That card is so dope, and I need somebody else to print it so I don't have to buy into Sao Alicization, even though it's probably ridiculously cheap at this point.
Yeah, probably. Already.
On climax play, pay 2 pitch to kill your opponent's combo. So funny, dude. It's so funny.
You mean the archer from Fate Zero?
No, we're not worried about that. we don't. We're not Fate gamers. We believe in the dad Berkuli.
God, there's a fake gamer.
Father figure.
Speaking of
We
someone,
love broccoli around here.
Speaking of someone completely unrelated to father figures.
But still speaking of Fate, you got the string
of fate.
Hey, Himemiya Rie, and we got a 0/0 When this card is placed on the stage from your hand, choose one of your opponent's characters. That character gets the following ability until the end of turn. This character cannot be returned to the hand or put into memory. So this stops some of the JC shenanigans. Also has the effect of auto when it's when this card becomes reversed in battle. Look at up to the top 3 cards of your deck. Choose up to 1 climax. Reveal it to your opponent. Put it in your hand. If you added a climax, put 1 card from your hand to the waiting room. It is climax, dig, and a method of outing some trouble cards. It's a fine profile, but doesn't see play very often because on reverse timing, digging for climaxes is not very good relative to on waiting room timing or on play from hand.
Yep. I did not feel comfortable giving this set a perturb Karumi type thing. And I was just like, we want some climax assurance, but I don't feel all that comfortable with making it too free. Because if this set had glow sticks, so like we would just be oh god, no.
I mean, do you have a check 3 brainstorm?
I don't remember there being one actually.
I don't know if there is one on set
At
one.
least not in
That's
the version
impressive.
that I have.
That's impressive, actually.
Like it's not. Let's not take it as like a there isn't one. It's legitimately. I don't know right now. Hold on, I can literally just check that. That's easy. No, there isn't. We've seen
I feel it.
that one. Yeah, not
feel
that
like-
one. Not that one.
I know there's a Mil5 search. There's the Mil4 search with the Eurocamp text, and then there is the salvage Mil4, I think.
Yeah, we don't have a check 3 yet. And we
Okay,
might.
that's probably for the best, to be honest.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, Macross has one that's on waiting room. You probably could have been fine with a 3-card waiting room one.
I mean, it's Macross. This
Yeah,
is a
yeah,
set that has
Macross is awesome.
this set just has a lot better card things going on, like critical density and all that. We're already.
Oh. JB hasn't played in a Macross enough, apparently.
I haven't. I've not
Macross
played
is
into
scary.
it once.
Macross is awesome.
But is it like?
You just do all your combos every turn. It doesn't matter what climax you have. It's so funny.
Yeah, but like, I don't know.
It's a little inconsistent, but it's doing
Yeah.
some like hot shit.
There you go. Yeah, the inconsistency is the thing that like I'm okay with this being this set being like in that more inconsistent lane, at least for this set 1 package. Partially because set 2 is just going to give you the triggers that give you the consistency back.
All right, we're gonna ban JB.
Consistency is
Ban JB. There we go.
Is Rie a
Ban JB
princess
from making custom.
of some sort? She's got a little crown.
So she is in fact a princess of some variety. I don't think she left her kingdom to do a thing, I think. Here's the thing. When I think of Rie, the last thing that I'm thinking of is her lore. I'm just thinking about how cute she is, and also just the very silly antics she's up to as a person. Because she's got like some good clips. She's got some very funny things she does online. But yeah, when I think of her, I honestly think more of her streamer thing than the fact that she is literally a princess in name and more. But she is just like princess cutie. I don't know.
Every time I see the red string of fate stuff, I just think of Black Clover, and I want somebody to make a Black Clover set because I'm too fucking lazy to do it.
Understandable.
Vanessa, like that arc was so cool. She went from like, oh, I have string powers to, oh, I can defy fate actually, and I was like, oh, it's so cool.
That is neat. I don't know how I want to tackle this one necessarily.
This is Her Highness Himemiya Rie. Put one of the vanilla from your hand to waiting room. When this is placed, when a CX is placed, you can do that. If this is in your center stage, you may pay cost. If you do, choose one level 2 or lower character in your opponent's center stage, put it into a waiting room, and at the end of the turn, put this card into your waiting room. What?
Oh yeah, it's real.
Pay 1, put this card into your clock. When this becomes reversed in battle, you may pay cost. If you do, you choose the vanilla and waiting room and put it there as rest. Okay. I have absolutely no idea if this is like good or not. It feels like a lot of deck commitment for some niche counter teching, but damn, is it funny.
I know, right?
I think I'm like
you were complaining about methods about killing big level 2s. Like this kinda does that.
yeah, man. Notably, the vanilla has 2 souls,
Yes.
which is cool, actually.
It's kind of nice
however-
with standby routes where you can use this to like open lanes and get like slightly bigger souls without swings that without having to trigger soul icons. But like
You just play the 2/2, right?
you just play it. Yeah, typically you just play the 2/2 for like better value and stuff like that. In niche matchups like this one can be cool.
Yeah, but even then, it's like to do the kill thing, right? You need to be also playing this vanilla.
The almost the better play pattern with this card, to be honest with you, is like just play the 1/0, and hopefully you're swinging over their board. Like you throw them like a 1k1 and some power assists or something, and then beat over their board, assuming they're on like level 0 or something. And then on the clapback, they take down the spawner, and then you're like, okay, cool, I've got a couple of the vanillas in the waiting room, and then your next swing back, you're swinging with the 2 souls on the vanilla.
I
And
thought
like,
you were gonna say the better play pattern is to just play the 2/1/2 soul raw
But-
and just ignore the 1/0.
I mean, yeah, you could, but I'm just saying like that if you're really wanting to play this package, like you're not often gonna be using the spawn or like the level 2 killer, like the like opening lanes and stuff, but like it functions. It's in the common slot.
Yeah, this would be
It's
a,
fine.
This is really funny.
this would be a fun card to give like a set 2 follow up. That is another common. That is also just support for the vanilla.
There's a set of cards in Nijigasaki that's just Kanata and her sister, who I forgot the name of, but she wants to do idol stuff too, from what I remember. Because, of course.
It's an owl show.
And it's like they both give each other a fuck ton of power, but they're both 2/1s with 2 soul, and then the freaking the little sister has like when you reverse, you can optionally memory kick your opponent. So you just build like you build a massive board of them, and they're just like 16k cross. And if your opponent crashes into the sister, you memory kick it if you want to.
What the
I don't think I've played against that deck a couple of times, and actually, I think I've lost more times to that deck than I have to most other shenanigans.
Also,
It's really funny.
so here's the thing. It's like that's really funny. They're both 2 soul. They're both 2/1s with 2 soul.
Yeah, they swing hard. It's really funny. I will say in regards to like vanilla packages that are like on level 1s or like around the level 1 range, which I mean they almost always are, right? The one in your camp with the pay 1, rest 2 characters, cigarettes to yourself, and then like give the 5/5 level 1 vanilla on damage cancel bounce to your hand. Like being a kind of a pseudo advantage engine in and of itself is a little bit more of an entertaining premise, but I don't know how I would have approached like a level 2 vanilla. This like seems interesting, but I don't know how I would even augment this or make any changes to make it even more like
Worth running.
yeah. The pay 1 clock self kind of just turns me off on this one a lot because you don't want to take a lot of like extra instances of damage to establish something that sits at 7/5, even though it has 2 souls. 7/5 is like very small for something
Okay,
like that.
Now this set has standby, right?
Mhm.
So in theory, you could get the 2/1 out at level 0.
Hypothetically, yeah,
You can do that.
yeah.
Which is
Is
fine.
it worth it though? I mean, I've got
No.
I've got
God,
level
no.
3s out at level 3s out at level 1 on several occasions with some like shenanigans, but like
Oh yeah.
I've played
Hi,
Miko
Shiny
Sora.
Mass.
I've played Miko Sora before.
I did it in Liko Rika, but
We all have.
we've all done different routes to these ends that don't really do anything.
Shiny Masses was also a burn combo.
Oh God.
Pay cost, and then you burn for the number of markers underneath of it. But it was always like really, it was kind of small. It just like, the only thing it ever did was sit at 10k at level 1, which is like big. But then they also just printed Kishibe
Yeah.
and Adachis.
Yeah. That the.
Also, this 1/0 on the left.
Honestly, with her hair down, she reminds me of Aski, which is a high
Yeah,
praise.
I can
'cause
see that too.
I love Aski. God.
I can see Oski as well, yeah.
There's just so many cute girls. Anyway. Last
Not
card.
enough time to make cards for them.
Yeah. Last card for this cute girl. This is a memory. That's a free fresh backup.
I wish my computer just let me put like a thumbs up emoji.
Yeah, this is a pay to on backup free fresh.
I wish Slime had this card. That would be so cool if it had this card.
Good profile to have. Free, fresh.
Right, I realized why I thought it was the other type of backup. We'll get there later. But yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Can see where you're going with this already, I think.
Potentially. All right. We will not dwell on this. She does have a fantastic voice, by the way. This is why I'm part of why I got into Face Connect. Was just cute girls that actually sound good. That's just how you sync me. All right. Next character. One of God's goofiest creations. This is Remilia Nephys. All of your opponent's characters get Clock Encore, and she also has Clock Encore. She is a 3500 vanilla.
You're playing a dangerous game, huh? So, like, Clock Encore, right? I think they finally realized, like, how stupid that is, right? To the point where one of the first reveals of Gakumas, which is coming out, like, right now, as we're talking, one of their double rares is, like, a level 2 killer with clean Clock Encore.
Oh, wow.
It's 2500. If you have 2 or more of the music characters, this gets 4k, and when it attacks, it has the level 2 Slayer effect and clean Clock Encore. Like music character traded Clock Encore.
Yeah.
But they have to be really careful. They have to be really careful when they're printing Clock Encore, especially when it's clean. Because you've seen what Hololive can do. You've seen what Love Live Superstar can do. That shit was a tier 0. They changed the rules of the game to not allow that 1-0 Shoko like Clock Encore promo card to not. It's not allowed to be played in other decks anymore.
Oh, wow.
It used to be. Yeah,
Right, yeah.
because it had music trait because she had a guitar in it, and it was just like a 6500 Clock Encore, and that's all it did. But it enabled Love Live Superstar to hit 3-6 perfectly every single game to end your entire career.
Right,
Yeah, if you ever you slot 2 of them in, then it's like if you ever needed to push yourself to kill, then you're set. Danger profile is danger profile in that regard.
In Kanata, it's like, I want to be level 2 now. I am ready to do my Kanata stuff. Miko over Miko, I have set my color, and I am now level 2 to do my Kanata stuff. They're very dangerous profiles. This one being top of clock is still like, it's not as egregious, of course, but it is dangerous, and I am all but certain there's a way to break this in your set, because custom sets are custom sets. But yeah.
I don't quite think that in the scope of this set it's quite as egregious. The fact that you can do that and loop a couple of it is like very, very dangerous. Regardless of the set, like being able to push yourself and not be level locked is like always good. But I almost feel like since you're already playing 4 of the Operikis, you almost don't care about it, with the exception that this doesn't cost you any stock. But that's almost never an issue for the set.
Yeah.
Oh, you play this with the restander from Yellow for sure, though. You can.
Yeah, because you can just sack her for free and then encore. Yeah, that is.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, you could technically triple restand. You could technically triple restand with this.
Yeah, that's to be. Yeah, this.
And then you heal it off, and then you heal the clock off.
So like
with the ability.
Remember how I was talking about how like, oh yeah, you know, in Yellow, like the Euphoria gen is all about, you know, like sacking off characters and it being like, you know, that being your resource mitigation. And then I printed this and I stared at it for a while like, okay, hang on. I love the flavor of this card. I love what it's doing, but maybe I can't have the card in this other generation just do that gen's whole thing better than them. But here's the thing about this girl, right? Remy is just a walking disaster gremlin, like IRL. Like, I don't think I've watched a single one of her streams, come to think of it. I like her voice when I heard, like, a couple of the covers she's done. But my primary mode of interacting with her is reading her tweets about the way that something has fallen apart in her life that day. Because this girl is so, like, accident prone and judgment call like prone. She's just so funny to me as just like an entity. the things that she'll do or that will happen to her, and you're just like, you are an anime character. Like, you're legit an anime girl walking around with like some kind of disaster field on you, and I don't know how she does it, which is why she is a danger to yourself and others in this set. The next card, I think, is the main exception to that rule, maybe the card after it. This card and her fourth card are both just like playing into that by with stuff like this. So on the one hand, like her clocking you is super flavorful, and then just she comes back all right because none of this has ever really like taken her out, right? It's like she just bounces back and is like, that was kind of unfortunate, but tomorrow will be better or something like that.
I like her garb.
Yeah, she is. She's
Her
also.
fit is nice.
She's got a
You
sick
do have a
outfit.
good fit.
Yeah.
Fit do be rocking.
I don't know how I want to evaluate this because like this is like one of the best oversized routes, and you can do all the shenanigans, and it does have that danger thing. But like again, in the context of the set, I almost don't feel like this was ever like a necessity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It has never felt like a must have, but it's around and
The other,
it's fun.
so the real problem, right, is that this is like the biggest risk reward card of all time. Because you have Clock Encore, but you also give your opponent Clock Encore. Which is just like nuts. And could definitely be abused by your opponent as well.
Yes.
So
Everybody gets Clock Encore. You get Clock Encore, and you get Clock Encore.
You can dodge on the later game. You can dodge them having the Clock Encore by dunking her for cluster effects or like not encoring her on the last portion. So like you can mitigate it that way. So like there is some like it favors you a little bit more than it does them. But
Naturally.
if you have this down early, then yeah, they can get some benefit out of it.
yeah, there's definitely like you are a lot more in control of this.
If I'm in Bang Dream and I use the Timorous and then I just play over the Timorous and then I can just like generate a couple of stock and dig like I don't know, like 16 cards into the deck.
Holy shit.
It'd be kind of funny.
In fucking Ave Musica bullshit. Oh my god. I haven't played into it yet, but I'm just like, of course, the ones that wear fucking panties on their faces are the ones that are broken. That's crazy. Freaking. Dude, this is gooner ass Bang Dream looking shit.
I need to get the G tape, the San Andreas meme, where it's like, you came into the wrong house, fool. Are we just leaving it as question marks on this rating?
What I'm gonna tell you is that I'm gonna rate this because I do actually I'm gonna give it the plus. I'm gonna rate this. However, JB, you have to understand that you have to take this card into account when you make every other card in your set 2. And the rest of this set what is reviewing is now involving this thing having Clock Encore.
Yep. If it turns out to be too much, we just come back and fix this card. It'll be fine. This is the card that goes.
I would say an easy fix on this would just be you get like she has Hand Encore, everyone else they all get Clock Encore. I think would be like one approach because Clock Encore and Hand Encore is a similar cost, right?
Yeah, they're equivalent in this case. Yeah, I can definitely get behind that. Kaze, you ended up with this one.
Hit me, captive audience, Remilia Nephys. This is a brainstorm with a combo, which is something that happens a lot in the set. This one notably is on a standby. And its climax combo is with, I don't know that, was it Sanguine Suite?
Sanguine Suite.
I'm not familiar with that term. But the combo itself is an auto at the beginning of your attack phase. If you have another phase connect character on stage, you may choose one Sanguine Suite in your climax area and one climax in your waiting room and exchange them. Notably, this pretty much gives you double standby trigger.
No, it doesn't.
Does standby not read when it's placed in the climax area?
Nope, from hand specifies, along with stock souls. Like, they don't let you double trigger climax play effects. I mean, you can see it on the text for this one, and I can promise you that's how it works. That's how it's coded in the sim, and that's how it reads on the text on all these cards.
Noted and understood.
That is not
My
the synergy
apologies
this is
there on
for.
that. I was like, that is an interesting routing, but I never played it because I was like, this is such a wacky ass combo that you want to use with a thing that is later in red, and it's confusing as hell.
We'll talk about it.
Okay,
Yeah.
JB, did you take this card from Saikano also?
I took the combo from Saikano.
This one's on the music deck. They just have a pants that just says swap this with another pants. It's so weird and stupid. Because I was like, oh, set 3 Saikano, we're finally gonna get like some support. And like, yeah, we got a 0 and an early play. Our fucking level 1 combo still sucks. And you make this garbage is the only climax blue I've got in the entire set. I wanted to cry. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it does not do anything in Saikana, which is why I'm having it do something here. One more line of text, because
it is a brainstorm for salvage, which is the only brainstorm for salvage in this set. It is a mill 4 and self tap for 1 set. 1500 power line, which is fairly high for a comboing brainstorm.
We have another salvage brainstorm in this set. It's a traded salvage, but here's what this was meant for. This is the reason that I made this set. Is this combo with the Irie combo, because you can stand by something out and then trigger this this Remy's ability, and then you put a bar from your waiting room, and then that triggers the Iries, so that you can time it to get that combo before you attack, and then if you have the resources, you could do it twice. So you can get the first round of the burns, and then at the beginning of your encore step, you trigger an Irie, play another copy of the bar from your hand, do pay 1, ditch 1 again, to burn 3 in every Irie lane that you can again. That's why I made this card.
Okay, I see. I went back to the Irie.
It is
that has the really good art.
It is stupid high rolly. I'm not expecting it to ever happen in practicality, where you get like the 6 burns off. But like, I needed to make a set that did exactly that, so I did, and that's how we got Face Connect.
I couldn't figure it out. It was like a Disneyland adventure, and when you actually go to Disneyland, you're sitting in line for 6 hours to ride a 3-minute ride, and then you're like, oh cool, that was wonderful.
Yep.
And then you get sunburnt, and then you get home, and you're like, all right, this was the most wonderful experience I had, and you actually just end up with a migraine, and then you stay in the hotel room for the next 3 days, and then you stay on a flight for 8 hours, and then go home, and you're like, that was awful, and I don't ever want to go back again.
Story of me.
I mean, I really like Disney Sea. Of course, that was in Japan, but I mean, I enjoyed my entire trip in Japan, so I guess that's not saying much.
Lucky. Maybe that's just some other experience that some people have. It might be better for others, which is good. I'm glad for them.
We definitely stood in a lot of lines, but near the end, when it started to get dark, all the lines like disappear. It was interesting. So we like blitzed the last few rides, and like the Indiana Jones one was pretty good, and there was like no line for that at that point.
I do think it's fairly notable that this kind of works with like, if you have this in the back, you stand by something in the back, and then you switch to like a level 1 advantage combo, and then you just kind of like loop in that regard. But like, I don't know if you play just a bunch of stock generation and just all finishers the whole way through the top in that particular routing, and then just like take slight advantage of the somewhat early play, or sorry, like the standby of some like 3s at 2 or something like that. I don't know. This one just felt like Disneyland with the bar.
Yep.
And Disneyland, for those who don't know, is like when you have to get a bunch of things to line up for it to be like popping off.
Oh.
It's a figure of speech. That's kind of where that statement that I had earlier.
Oh, I thought it was Wonderland.
I've heard Disneyland, but Wonderland is also.
Okay. All right. I'm just making sure like I'm not crazy, because I feel like I've heard both. And by heard both, I mean Kaze's using Disneyland for the first time, but I did hear it, so I've got headphones on.
Disneyland's the one I'm familiar with too.
Oh, dope. I'm not even like that familiar with Alice in Wonderland, but she gives me like the cute / creepy vibe, so I'm down. I can't give it that low of a rating because it is also just like baseline a salvage brainstorm. So
That's fair, but he said that there's another one in the set.
well, yeah, but like it's it's also standby. The other thing you can do with this is with any of the stock soul stuff. If you do it with that, the stock soul doesn't pump the soul because it has to be on play, right?
It also doesn't
So
give the stock.
correct, but you can still do a stock soul combo, and the stock soul combos have involved like restands and
Oh yeah.
soul trigger stuff. So you have like soul modulation kind of with this, which I think is kind of dope actually.
Yeah, being able to Tenma without having to worry about it swinging at like 3 because you didn't play it from hand, so you get to swing at it from 2, or like with the Lumi too. Just you're not worried about like over swinging, because you didn't actually need the stock anyway. So that you're just writing on like you swapped it out. You got to maybe start doing that at level 2 instead of level 3 because you early played something and you didn't take the damage. So you could be like Lumieing from level 2 in a lane. Something like that. It's neat.
Yeah, I don't know how I want to rate it, but I think like it has potential. So I'm gonna go with this optimistically, and then it could be better or it could be down where Kaze is.
This is the only other standby currently. We have this, and we have a one that we'll get to in quite a while. So if you want to play standby, you're gonna see this girl. She is, if I remember correctly, maybe I should double check my sources before I say this on the internet, because the name Nephys sounds like Nephilim, but but then like you see the name Remilia, and you're like, oh, Remilia Scarlet. That's like a vampire, right? And I need to double check my sources on which one she is, and she is a Nephilim. God, oh my God, the flavor for is so angsty for her. Oh man, her mother was an angel. Her father was the ruler of Fae's world's underworld. So Lucifer, literally. She was an outcast because she's a half blood on both sides. She never had friends. She got bored. She got lonely, and her parents and heaven and hell all rejected her. So she was just like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna leave," and then she left. And then in reality,
I'm gonna be a VTuber.
yeah, and then in reality, like she's just like this pawn little gremlin who's running around. She reading like she's also kind of a neat like when she can be. She also though has family that sometimes she can't because the other she took like a break for a bit. One of her parents was like, "We're going out to the country to see the family and help out on the farm." And so she went and was like doing farm stuff, and it was like, "Girl, what is your
Dude,
life?"
she just like me for real.
She's a real pard.
I'm not the black sheep of the family. I'm the tie-dye one.
No.
That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting off of her. She's got like so much family issues. It's all different shades of color.
Yeah. All right.
But I mean, at least IRL she hangs with her family. That's pretty dope.
Yeah. All right. This one is yours.
Oof. How unfortunate. Flames of Justice, Remilia Nephys. If you have 2 or more other Phase Connect characters, this card gets 15 and Hand Encore. When this 1/1 is placed on stage from hand, you can discard a character and search for the Brainstorm.
It bonds! Deck bond!
I saw that effect on a card from Shauna, and the art here is an homage to Shauna. So I was like, that seems fitting. That's all.
L for Lord.
F for Girl Failure.
F for Flavor?
F for Phase Connect.
It's a card.
Yeah.
I would never. Why is it smaller than? I mean, I know why it's smaller than every other standby target, But why? You never want to play this from hand. This bond ability doesn't do anything. Okay, this is like so bad. Is this the best 1/1 target you have?
I don't think so.
Oh, thank God.
Here's the thing. I don't actually know off the top of my head. But,
Okay, it's fine. I think I'd rather just play a 1/0 and like say I just don't even have a 1/1. Standby, I feel like has evolved. Like unless your 1/1 is also your combo, like in Mushoku or Hololive with Polka, how good is a 1/1 over just like more utility? You know what I mean?
There are other targets that we will more likely play in the 1/1 slot.
I'm excited to see him. Let's hurry along. I'm so sad this pout is an F.
I don't even think they're in red. But
That's not entirely uncommon, to
They're
be
not.
honest.
There is one in red that has utility, but it is a different kind of utility.
okay, cool. All right, our last one. I'm very happy that I get this one. This is Never Letting Go, Remilia Nephys. T2 7k2 soul. During your turn, if all of your characters are phase connect, this card gets 6,000 power. When this card becomes reversed in battle, you may pay 1, clock yourself from top deck, and put this card in your memory. So you can do that, and at the beginning of your next draw phase, you can put her back on stage. This is a take on the card from JoJo, the Avdol.
Joe.
Except that she clocks you because she is accident prone. So what happens is she she trips over, like she's like running away from the thing that's trying to attack her. She trips over herself, and through some sheer machination of fate, she is saved by the bell to be returned to just do it all over again.
There's a knife motif. I feel like she was running with a knife and she dies and then she becomes an angel. Is that wrong or is that right?
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, like she the devil part of her is running with scissors, and the angel part of her is I lived, bitch.
Okay. This should have been the Makima card, I think, instead.
What's the Makima card?
So there's a Makima 2/2 that swings at the same power line, but has its encore effect is sack 2 other characters.
No, no, that's not only is it the wrong generation for it. Just no.
Okay, well this card sucks as is. So and accident prone, I was like, we can maybe make it this then, but I do not want to clock myself at this point in the game, especially not to just save this card.
It has 1B games against the AI.
Well,
It is yet
unfortunately, the
another
AI
card that swings
sucks.
big.
I don't even mind a 2/2 that swings big. Like I said, that Makima, the sack 2 is really cool because you can just, if you do your encore effects in the proper order, you can sack characters that have already been reversed.
Yeah,
Like it's just
and
and
get
it
their
can be
weighting effects
free.
and stuff. Yeah, no, it's I like stack from stage effects now. I've been spoiled. They're pretty sick.
Also, the Yandere part, it would fit. The sack characters would fit into the Yandere, kind of, because she's killing off the other girls.
But that's not her vibe. She's not a kill other people kind. She's like accidentally hurt people thing. But it's not
No,
intentional. Unlike with Euphoria, which is
nah, bro. This is definitely like she's gonna come hunt you down and kill anybody in her way. Look at this face. She's got the love Yandere eyes. It's Jover.
fair enough.
But she's got the knife. That's a danger. That's
Yeah.
a danger mark. Scary.
I like that kind of dating. Anyway.
Okay.
This is
All
one.
right.
This is one I'm not messing
me.
with. I'm keeping it.
Hit
as it
me.
is.
Oh no, it's not me. I'm gonna say it's Zwei. It's Zwei from Ruby.
What? No, it is your turn to read because I read the other one.
Just do it. Then if y'all are gonna fight over it for like an hell.
I was just saying it's literally Zwei card or like card to card.
Fair
Oh.
enough. But read the text for the people who don't know what that is.
Okay, so it's a 2K00 card name Muu Muyu. It is a on-play mill top 2 cards of your deck. If there was a climax among those, you can pay the cost of discarding a card, and then you can salvage a character. And then the other auto effect on play is pay 1, ditch 1, salvage a character, or trait character. Choose one of your trait characters. Give it 1K until end of turn. Ta-da! It's a drop salvage. That can be another drop salvage with a little bit of discard.
It's a drop salvage with force mill, and I'm not particularly the biggest fan of force mill. I like the one they printed in Nikkei, but that has like a whole bunch of other uses. And also, if you hit a climax, you don't even have to discard; you just salvage.
Yeah, that's
I love 2-card brainstorm. Go. I mean, that's what they are. It's just a 2-card brainstorm.
Yeah, that I feel like that must cost
Also,
like a shit ton of power and be higher rarity than common.
oh, I mean, yes, but it's a double rare actually, I think, and has a downside on it.
Oh wow, yeah.
But it does also let you play a 3/2 for free.
Dear God.
So it has like the Bochi Rio style thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm with Kaze. It's like it's fine. I don't think I'd ever play it, but it's fine.
Yeah, that's fair.
I have one friend that just swears by his Y in Ruby, like he will never take his Y out. It's so funny.
I feel like I would play Zwei not because I enjoy the effects, but because I want that silly little CG dog on a card.
Y is the goat. When he
Yeah.
shows up in the mail is like probably one of the coolest scenes in like
It's
CG
so funny.
cinema. Like it was so funny.
Yeah, too bad they messed up Ruby as a set, huh?
Such as it just needs its reboot, like a complete reboot from starting from the ground zero.
Yeah.
They just need to give, characters not named Ruby good cards, and it'll be fine. Oh, yo, what is going on with this card?
We'll find out shortly, won't we?
Okay, is it me? I guess it's my turn.
Mm.
Auto. When this is placed on stage from hand, you may pay cost, which is sack a character. Search your deck for a CX, reveal to your opponent, and you deck swap them. And then also, you have a regular, like CX from Waiting Room. This is what we call slot efficiency, folks.
You need a climax? She's got you covered. She is your purple smoke vendor.
This card's actually really cracked. In a set that doesn't have as much climax assurance, like you just slotting one of these and just gripping it for whenever you might need it. It's really funny because it doesn't matter which zone your climaxes are, you can get it. It's quite cool.
Yeah, and then also it is in a set that has a level 0 combo that's a standby that you can play on stage, meaning that you just fish out whatever fucking climax you want from whatever combination of zones you want to let you go into standby, do a thing, advantage combo, do a thing. It's pretty nifty.
You probably still only play like 2 of it, but it's good.
Yeah, you still
It gives you more reason to play the Rika the Chutu card as well, because it just means that if you ever have the Chutu in your hand, you can always grab this, which then always grabs your climax and gives you a sack target for the swap.
Or the stock fodder that you just send to stock.
Yeah,
because you gave it coffee.
Yeah.
Oh lord, I see another level 3 on this next slide.
Yeah, so real fast to go through her lore.
Weird.
Muu Muyu is from Euphoria. She is one of the sort of more fantasy-oriented characters in this whole thing. She is a little cowgirl who is also an alchemist. That's why she is our purple smoke vendor. She's brewing up purple smoke to then do potion stuff with. Which is why she does like transmute stuff. So like her first card was like the drop salvage because she's turning a resource in hand for another one. She's the climax swap for the same reason. She's just out here swapping shit for you.
I like this card a lot. I think the dual purpose on the climax swap. There's a lot of sets, or there's some sets that have like one of each, or just have one or the other kind. And it's like there's moments where you wish one was the other, or vice versa. And it's just like, why can't they do either? And this card literally having that as an option is super cool.
Yeah, the one thing is that like I can hear Spyro in the back of my head being like, your climax swap tells you what your set does. I'm just like, well, this one is just a climax swap, but it's all the climax swap you'd ever want. What does that tell you about Phase Connect?
Is that literally what Spyro said? Your climax swap determines what your set does.
Not determines, but it tells you things about your set. Like if you have like only the one in your set, like the utility effect it gives on the side tells you some stuff because like you're always gonna have it, right? It's always gonna be a factor that you have this other utility that card brings. Whether it's like a filter or like an oversizer, whatever thing it's going on, you're always going to have at least one copy of it in your deck because you need to have at least one Climax swap in most decks. Yeah, he said on Don't Hug Me, I'm scared.
Okay, two things. One, yes, there's a set that in one set got 5 Climax swaps.
Mm-hmm.
I will give a crisp internet high five to who can guess what mostly recent set got 5 Climax swaps in one set. It's not oversized either.
It's 100 card set that got, oh god.
I was like, how did they get another one? And then they released another one the next day. And I was like, why do they have 4? And then they released a fifth one. And I'm like, why do they have 5? So the answer is Chainsaw Man.
Oh yeah.
Chainsaw Man has 5 Climax swaps. It is sack on play, deck stock variant on play, regular like stock one. They have a level 1 stock one for waiting room, and then they have an on death oversized one.
Mm-hmm.
There's one in every color too. The only one that has double up is green. They have the level 1 and the sack Aki one. Is this card budgeted correctly?
Yep, because the pay 1 slot from deck is 1K, which I confirmed with the Chainsaw Man one.
Yep, can confirm. The deck one is 1K versus the 500 for the waiting room.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, hold on.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
We can move on, but I need to check something.
Okay. So this is The Cows Come Home, Muu Muyu. 103K. On play, mill top 3. And when she becomes reversed, if her battle opponent is level X or lower, you can reverse that opponent. X is the number of the level 3 standby finisher. Everything is permitted Runie Ruse in your waiting room, which we will talk about in its appropriate slot, which is a while from now. But keep in mind, this is potentially a bomb for anything, provided that you have the sufficient copies of the finisher that you're probably playing alongside with this.
Doesn't the reverser in Dengeki Bunko, doesn't that also have like a plussing option and have the same reverse text and condition?
I have no idea. I grabbed the Eurocamp version of the on reverse and I gave it the mill 3 because I didn't have a mill 3 at level 0 and I felt like the standby deck would appreciate it, even though we already have the selective mill up to 2 one in yellow, which is the same gen.
This reminds me of there's a Kurumi card that does some similar stuff, except it only bombs level 1s, I think.
I like
But,
the variability of these profiles. I've tried the tent build with the 8 pants and other variants with Eurocamp and having the reverser, but in decks or sets that like or top end being on pants means that you want them in hand for the finishing turn, but being in standby, you kind of want to standby them out. So like the fact that this can bomb from a zone where you don't mind the level 3s being is kind of cool. So like you get more utility throughout majority of the game, but it doesn't make it that much more amazing because you're like suiciding and then you leave open lanes, which in some situations is fine in some matchups, but isn't always desirable.
I feel like I wouldn't scoff at this card being in somebody's deck, especially because it literally mentions one of the standby things on it. But you probably got better stuff to be doing than this.
Agreed.
Also, I think the Climax swap is math drunk. I know what we said about the Chainsaw Man one, but Fujimi set 2.
It has 500 on it. That's interesting. Maybe they
Yeah.
some budgeting on it.
I mean, I think
I'll wait until we see the next one to make a judgment call on it, just in case, because like, it's possible that they change the pricing, and it's possible that the Bunko card is just budgeted wrong.
The Eurocamp deck swap one is 500 and 500 from having the runner effect. So it's like, but it's at 2k power.
Oh
climax
shit! I
salvage.
guess they decided that it is just 500, so this gets to be 500 power bigger. All right, we get a minus because I have to go fix that. All right, fair enough.
We did it. I was like, wait a minute. I just played Rumia and my. I built a entire deck out of Akashic Records.
Yeah.
Because I thought that shit was funny.
Oh, thank God I didn't change the card numbers.
I guess C minus. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe if the
it seems kind of right. Like, I think the benefit specifically is because of the fact that the top end is standby and you're not going to be gripping them in your hand, so they're in cycle. It's like this card can like have more use cases than not, if that makes sense. Like you're not just gripping two of them and then you can only reverse level twos in a high roll situation where the threes are in the waiting room as opposed to in the deck.
I feel like this also has some more value because at least so far, like the ones and the twos haven't been like lighting the world on fire in terms of goodness.
Yep.
So this might be able to actually see some more play than it otherwise would.
Yep. It is. If they want to keep their board, they're not going to be running into this. They're going to have to figure some shit out. Which means your opponent is spending brain power, which means you can win them in the attrition game.
I was talking about this with somebody the other day. It was like, well, what I kind of like these combos that make my opponent choose because it's putting more mental on them and less mental on me. And then it's just like, well, all the cards in my deck are good, so it just matters about which good card do you want to give me. You know what I mean?
I mess around with that in the Eurocamp level 0. It's really funny. I like it.
It came up because they were playing the Dansu Flame from Uma Musume, the stupid brainstorm that can go +2 for some reason.
Oh, hey, look. I think it actually is me this time.
Yes.
Even though I've fudged up the order before. Let's go, me. So we got Inverse Chupacabra Muu Muyu. It is a 3/2, 8k power. And it has a early play condition of opponent having a level 3 or higher character on stage. So you get -1 level down to a 2/2. And then has a continuous ability of if all your characters are phase connect, it gains 2k. So a fake power condition in certain matchups, it can be trade locked or trade out up to a 10k, and has the auto effect of when it's placed on stage from hand, choose one of the following effects and perform it. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck, choose one, put it to your hand, and put the rest into the waiting room, and or put the top card of your clock into your waiting room. So you either heal or top check 3. It is modular, but is very hingent on the opponent having a 3 or higher on board.
Yeah.
I know that Blank knows this card.
I don't like relying on my opponent when I play my game of any sort, regardless of what game I'm playing it, a card game, a video game, a fighting game, a board game. Like, if I have to rely on my opponent for anything, I want to avoid that in most situations.
I mean, the effects are good, but I'm kind of on board with that. Yeah.
Yep. That's the primary issue I've had with this card too, which is why the uncommon slot feels fine.
I don't think they printed one of these like modular level 3 effect early plays on anything but a double rare yet.
So remember how I said that you knew what card this would be? Or at least you're familiar with it?
Oh, maybe. Dude, like I said, I'm on 2 hours of sleep.
So
You gotta remind me.
I ripped this card directly from Hasu no Sora, rarity and all.
Oh. So I haven't played Hasu. I've only played into Hasu.
Right, that's fair. Yeah, this which makes sense. They have other things to do. They don't need to be running this. But yeah, no, this card exists at the rarity it does. Hasu no Sora is admittedly already a pushed enough set, but Phase Connect is about at the same level as that set when it comes to its quality of profiles anyway. So it lines up.
You know what's really funny? Is I think as completely like stupid as all the stuff you've printed in here stock charging wise is, I think Hasu's still dumber.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, like I'm not seeing there. Like there is still weird stuff that you have to like work around with this set to do like even anything. I feel like even the stuff that like Kaze has talked about with like, oh, you know, this goes like the Tenba going crazy. Like he sent me a list that was like an early draft, and I'm like, I can't, I don't know how he's. I believe him that it works. It doesn't work for me right now, which means that yeah, like we're in a good spot. You have to think about things. Admittedly, there are other things that I've built that felt pretty brain dead to me, which I also appreciate because I can just hit buttons.
Because you are a button mash gamer, as proven by me cringing in your Danmachi and Kami-sama game.
I know, right? Yeah.
That was funny.
my
At
Dude.
least I saw it after the fact because I was able to
I was
look at
about
it and go, "Holy shit, what was I doing?"
The Danmachi one, literally, he could have just swung twice and passed because they don't
Yes!
have a healer in that deck.
I
And he would
know!
get to swing and lose before your damage goes through, but he killed himself instead.
It was so good. It was such a good like that would have been like a 3-0 and it's like, oh no, I'm just dead. How did I do this to myself?
I like how you like milled yourself like 16 cards just for no reason when you could have just done that.
So stupid. I was
so
like, what?
bad.
Stop! JB, stop! Chill, calm down!
Even looking one card less on any of those, the same result, you could have won that shit.
I know, right?
Dude, this section's gonna get cut out, and it's just gonna have the edit of Kaze and Blank roast JB for about 10 minutes.
Oh man, no, it's deserved. I feel like it's so valid. I felt it as soon as I got done, like watching back the footage and editing. I was just like, "Oh my god, what are we doing, bro?" Hopefully, I'll do better on the next one. But yeah, no, I think I'll be better on the next one. I haven't sat down to record the games for that one yet.
Admittedly, Kami-sama is a very, like, tough deck sometimes. Like, sometimes it's like, oh, everything's looping just fine, but then you get the awkward stuff, so I don't blame you as much for that one.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Runie, you said, how did you pronounce her name again?
This is Runie Ruse.
Runie Ruse. You can, on death, you discard one and choose the phase Euphoria event in waiting room and return it to hand.
Yeah, this card should probably just have some more text on it. This period.
I mean, so in Kaguya, they had like that big event package, right? And like each one had a bonder, and it was just some variant of oversize. 0.
Oh wow.
Yeah, my favorite was the U, which was it was 4K in the center and was on play. Discard, get the event, and it was just like, yeah, sure. I don't remember if that one was common or uncommon, but I know some of them for a fact were common rarity.
That's fair. I like the idea of it being like one that triggers off your sack outlets, because like you do it mid attack phase or something, or like, and then you get to do the filters so that you have the backup for your opponent's turn. But it would also probably be perfectly fine on play and doing another thing. I'll check out the Kaguya ones.
It really depends on what this event does, I think.
Yeah, let's roll down to the event real fast. This is
The art's really cute on this, though.
Yeah, we have a couple of things to talk about with it. Actually, I'll just do it right now. This the dragon-looking girl is our one graduate from phase U. Oh my god, I misspelled the name on the card.
Oh wait, that means this card can't salvage any event. No, it's okay. That's an F then.
We gotta fix all this shit. I think I have to fix that in the sim too. Oh god. But yeah, all right. So yeah, intended phase Euphoria. You have to have a phase Euphoria trait character on board. You choose one of the following effects you perform. You choose one of your phase connect characters. It gets +1 level and plus X power till end of opponent's next turn. X is equal to the level of that character times 1,000. So up to like a 4K boost if you give it to a level 3. Don't do it while your opponent has an Adachi in that lane. For the love of God, you will regret it. Or reveal the top card of your deck if that character is a phase connect character. Put it into your hand. This is an Azure Lane event that I gave backup, which has happened before.
I was about to say, like, that sounds familiar. Sure.
I don't have a lot on this one. This and the previous card are like fine. I don't think in most builds or routes you're going to see play with this. I feel like when sets have event focus, I feel like the events should feel like impactful or like have like really cool interactions. And this one doesn't quite fit that, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
I mean,
Like it's kind of like a do nothing event. Like I can spout out synergies. Like you get the top deck knowledge with the Ricky, and then like okay, cool, I know what I can add to my hand, and it also can be like used as a punch on defense to get over certain power ranges. So like you can use this in the choice route, but like you have better backups than that, and you've already added back with the choice level one with the backup package. There's not a whole lot of synergies within the set for this particular event profile. So I could see this having like a different routing. But I think the profile itself is like fine. But
Yeah.
within the confines of the set, it didn't spark any creative juices for me on this one.
Yeah, the thing that comes to mind for me is just like this deck. The standby deck doesn't have like a defensive scry. You can run this if you wanted to get like defensive scry in a roundabout way, or if you don't need the damage scry, you just get some power. But ultimately, yeah, it's not something you're going to be seeing very often. I also don't really particularly see this set as like an event focus set. It's just like it's the same way that like Hololive has like an event for each of the gens, so it's like the parallel there. We give every event generation an event. For some of the generations, I just straight up did not have any idea what I was going to go with for them. So we kind of bounced around, picked some things to put on cards. So if everyone has ideas, that would be more interesting for the standby or a deck. Throw them in the comments.
Yeah, I feel like every other event is just getting outshined by the Zombieland one.
Mm-hmm.
And well, there's a reason there aren't that many other events in Zombieland.
Yep.
Because that one's the main focus. Because it's got so much text on it.
Yep.
Hit me this time.
There you
go. Got What a Dame. Runie Ruse. We got a 4500 that has a shift, which I think is missing on the icon.
Yes, it is.
Is missing the icon.
It is 1045. Has the text of when a climax is placed into your climax area, you may pay the cost, which is returning this character to your hand, and then you can top check, and then leave it on top or put it into the waiting room and choose a character and give it 2k power. Profile is fairly useful in standby because you're like plussing hand, but I don't know if giving it shift is enough to give it more value than any of the other options in the set.
I mean, this card has so much going against it. It's a level 1, so you can't even do the bounce back stuff at 0, really. Unless you stand by this out, and then like another standby, which is like, you're on some copium there, brother. And normally these have other effects on them besides shift, and this one's a level 1, and I feel, what rarity is this? Is this her rare? Is that what that says down there?
That is what that says down
Yep, it is
Oh
indeed
my
a rare.
god, dude, this is like a fucking common, dude. This is a fucking common.
You can
This is like,
blame Miracle Live Sunshine for that one.
I will. You should don't take sets from premium boosters, bro. Especially not ones that is buffing a whole bunch of other different sets.
It's not even a premium booster. It has rarities.
Oh, okay, whatever. I don't care. You know what I mean, though.
Yeah, I do.
It's buffing a whole bunch of other things to the point where it hardly has its own identity.
Yeah, here's the thing. I really don't want a standby to be a thing in this set, like push super hard. I really don't want to give them a level 0 that does the on play climax do thing. So if I'm changing this card around, I gotta do something else with it.
I mean, you already gave them the runner Amagi, so it's not like you're changing much here by making this a 0.
All right. Next up.
I mean, you don't have to do anything. I'm just saying, like, yeah.
I will end up changing that card to something because it is one of those cards that was like, I want profiles in this set. What's a profile that's real? And then just finding one, which was
Just saying, like,
it's why it doesn't have the
that's
shift
one of the
icon.
It's one of the worst rares I've seen in a long time.
Yeah,
I like this one a lot, though. And also, the picture is tight.
Magical Mishap, Runie Ruse. This gives a 2k assist to level 3s. And put this on the bottom of your deck. Search for a Phase Connect character. Reveal to your opponent, put it into your hand. And shuffle. You have to shuffle. That's forced. Always have to shuffle.
You took the Euro Camp level 1/1. Bottom decks itself to get a dude. It's kind of neat.
It's a little weird being on an assist, but it's not the worst thing I've ever seen.
Like you can stand by it out at 1 and then just turn it into any card you want for without any stock cost. And that's a soul trigger in your deck if you're playing a deck that cares about that. And then if you're playing it out later, or you can just leave it out when you start standbying out level 3s for it to be the level 3 assist.
Yeah, but you also have like the 2k assist back row attacker.
Mhm.
So I feel like you're just using this for the act ability more than anything. If you slot this in.
Yeah, you have the option if you don't want to be on yellow, or you because you're not going to have like enough yellows that you can guarantee the top check or whatever. It's like, you have options.
You're on the Ricky for sure. And then also like the only thing you need to avoid is climaxes with that card. Because
Or like it will fail on like Kaleido if you're playing Kaleido in your deck.
I mean I guess, but I feel like 8 standby is a different beast than what that's doing.
Probably. Probably.
I think it's fine.
What if
I don't know if I'd actually
what if
run
you
it.
play Kaleido with standby?
Oh, here we go. I feel like you know what the sad part is? It's like one of the best advantages of running standby is, I get to save on stock, and it's like, unfortunately, all the 1k1 stuff generates so much stock that standby is just actually a worse trigger in this set than anything else. I don't even think I'm joking.
I don't think you are either. I think I'm agreeing with you. Which I feel like I'm comfortable with, because I don't like standby when it's like really like cracked. I like when it's like good but not broken. Because
I would
Yeah, but
slightly push back on that just off of a couple of interactions. Like,
and I mean, we do have the finisher coming up, so.
more specifically, like, was her name Pico, the 0/0 with the 0 assist? Like, before you even make changes to that, like, you can super stock charge off of that.
yeah, you could also just do that by playing a 1k1.
Yeah, you don't need it to be standby, but
It's
it
not
works
standby
also,
specific.
I'm aware. I'm aware of that. I'm just saying you still get all of the stock benefits from like the Pipkin, the earlier
Right.
one that's like that just puts zeros from the top to stock. Although you're not playing that many zeros in standby anyway, so like
It
I
gets
guess
a little
that's less likely to happen. It's like that's a
it
little
gets
bit
funkier,
Disneyland, I
right?
guess.
Because your target, a lot of the stock stuff is in a variety of colors, and some of it is like on play stuff, or it wants to be in your back row, and it's like in standby your back row gets a little funky, and then you want to be playing these good targets to do this, so that's deck spaced if you want to run all this stock stuff, and it's like you running out of like things. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It turns
You
into a
could put all this,
hodgepodge. Yeah.
and then you
Becomes
just like,
more
well,
money.
what am I actually doing with all of this? And it's like, I don't know if he's put defensive counters in the set, but so far it's not been anything super defensive.
Yeah, free.
Because he said though,
No taps, no rests, no anti or no what's the term? The
anti-damage.
compass. Yeah, there's no compass.
Compass would have been fun for this set, I think. I'll send it to you later. I'll send you what OG compass is, and I'll show you the Gochiusa one and whatever other one you want me to.
Oh, yeah.
It's like mill X off the top of your deck. If you reveal a climax, it's an anti-damage for cheap.
Okay.
It's like
You're
a cheaper
familiar with
cost.
that for reasons.
I am familiar with that for reasons. Also, I don't know. That's around. It would kind of go anti-synergy with the card we're about to talk about, though. Which is the other standby combo.
We do have terminate lanes though, at least as an option.
Oh, yeah.
We can't forget about
You
termination.
can burn the stock on the Leah. That's absolutely true. All right. Let me go ahead and and run us through this so that I can then talk about why she is the way she is. This is Everything is Permitted, Runie Ruse. During the turn, this card was placed on the stage from your hand at the end of your turn. Put the top card of your clock into your waiting room. Now I know what you're thinking. Why did you put a hand effect on your standby finisher? I originally was going a little bit more ham with this and then was told we had to drop back, so we're just doing we're toning it down. It'll be fine. At the beginning of your encore step, if Forbidden Magics is in your climax area, your level is 3 or higher, and this card is in your center stage, you may pay 1, pitch 1, sack another Phase Connect character from your stage. If you do, Shinano combo, which is mill the top 9 of your deck and deal 1 damage to your opponent X times, where X is the number of climaxes among those cards.
Oh.
There was a point. You got an on-play effect that you could trigger off being placed by standby. And there was another point, and maybe even overlapping points, where this had Marian effect, because she's a sack-oriented character. And that was the point where I had to get my cooking license revoked and get handed a learner's permit again. So now,
Yeah,
she's
I remember
Shinano.
this time frame. We were in discussions on this one for a while too.
Mm-hmm.
It was funny.
Yep. So now it is Shinano, but with the alternate cost that feeds more into the sack gimmick, which is I think that having the playing around with board presence does make a little more sense. Also, because you can standby this out over your center stage or whatever, so you can have an off finisher lane that then it gets played over, turns into this, and then beginning of encore step you get to fire this off.
Which
Oh,
is
wait,
pretty nasty.
This is
It's actually
encore
it's really nasty with the particular routing in blue. The blue red is terrifying for this reason.
Yeah.
I feel like we've talked about all the stock compression stuff, right?
Mhm.
That's what Shinano was trying to do, right? With Taiho and whatever. This set just does it so much more free that this finisher might actually just be very stupid. But before I even see what's in blue. If you just built this as a 1k1 thing, but you just happen to be playing standby, okay, so let's say you field this, you field another one, and then you field the restand, so you just have an extra chance to trigger a standby or something. Or oh wait, hold on, let me. Sorry, okay. Also, the back row attacker gets a trigger check, right? So that means it can also.
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right, buddy. Okay. Hey, you've had a nice time. I think it's time to go back to the nursing home because you clearly lost your marbles.
It's one of those things where it's but if you hit a standby, it means off the top check, then it means you're not gonna get the restand. But it's you just play a Hina, but before you do that, and then you go in, and maybe you can even if you're not having the cards in hand, right? You just attack with the Hina. You arrange it so that you've already hit off the Ponko. You then have the standby that was gonna be on top, but is now the second top card on top of your deck. So swing with the other lane. It's Ponko triggers. You swing with the Hina that you had to put up front first. She dies. You then get to standby over that with the Runie that you're gonna do anyway. You get to fire the Runie to pay out the stock so that you have the hand to be sure that you can trigger all the combo. I had the issue of not being able to actually get it to work in practice. But yeah, it's still super solid.
Remind me the cost on the Shinano combo again. Was it pay 1, ditch 1?
It's page 2.
It's discard 2.
I used some equivalencies to get to here.
Yeah, I don't know for sure if sacking another character from stage is the right direction on it, because I think you still want real cost associated, and sacking a character from stage on finishing turn doesn't quite fit, at least in my perspective.
At encore step 2.
Yeah, at encore step, on standby, in a set that has the off finishers and the main phase burns that it already has.
So you'd rather you'd rather the sack flavor actually be on the on play and let it be the Shinano cost.
So
I think that could be a little bit more fair. and you would have less access to all of the shenanigans that the set has available at level 3.
There's a reason that Shinano heals at Encore Step instead of like refunding hand. Similarly, Jotaro, who is literally like entirely hand costed, his on play effect is sack a character on stage, heal to stock.
Yep.
So like they don't like when these like crazier burn one a bajillion time things. Like they don't want you refunding hand off of them. And this one doesn't, but we've altered the cost to where it doesn't actually matter. And because it's at Encore Step, you've definitely attacked 3 times. So you the stock cost is paid for like immediately. You have minimum 3 characters on board, so you could proc 2 of it, and that's assuming you just didn't have a back row for some reason.
Or you didn't have an encore option somewhere.
Yeah, it's like like okay, all right. Imagine you're having like a really rough game, right? But you somehow pull off 2 finishers, and just like a chump lane, but you trigger a standby in there somewhere, and and then you trigger another one. But you like, oh, I what if I don't kill him? I still want to play this backup for a refresh counter, or whatever. You just put the clock encore in the back, and like say you're 3-0, and you played these things from hand. You get the clock encore, and then you heal it off, and then you just got your combo for discard 1 total cost. Like, what are we doing? It's just like this card is discard 1, do Shinano.
Yeah, that's kind of like why I think
Because you can just do the clock encore thing.
I think you want either an extra like what would it be a 2 additional stock and then or just 1 more from hand to like kind of make this a little bit more reasonable.
Encore Step's really strong. What I will say, there is precedence for a standby combo doing this though. I gotta go find it though. It's actually in a Love Live set.
Yep.
The one that comes to mind for me, maybe not this like the Mil9 like self ICTL style, but like if you look at the Oshinoko the eye, like if the full board is reversed or open lanes, you can pay 1, ditch 1, burn equal level +1. You're self Musashiing to on open lanes. Like that's the play pattern is similar, but like this is far more potent.
Yeah,
I love I.
That's also
I wish
not
your cards were better.
That's also not a combo, right? That's just an off finisher thing.
Yeah, it's not part of a combo. It just gives global 15 to all other trait characters. It's a 10k base, and then just at end of Encore, you can pay 1, ditch 1, do the burn.
So this is on Yo from the 6th anniversary booster. It's a double rare. And then it gets 500 for every other heal on play. Combo is pay 1, discard 1 on attack. And it does mill 9, but it is 1 instance. It is not ping ones.
Okay. Interesting.
I also am I dumb, or is Shinano also experience locked?
I think you're right. I think it's an experience 6 or 8.
Because every finisher in that set was basically experience locked. Yeah, it's experience 6.
Yeah, remember I said I had to do some budget math? I was able to determine this cost is equivalent because it's it's got
You're
a trait or
requiring it
condition
real
attached to
higher.
it. You got
Is being level 3 or higher enough of a condition to match experience 6?
No, it's not that part. It's the stock, the extra stock that's tacked on there. That's what makes it because the stock payment is like a 3x.
Does that make sense? I don't think that makes sense.
I know that it doesn't look like it on the surface, but it legitimately is. Sack trait is equivalent to a discard for multiple purposes. It's questionable if it counts for something like this, and I think you're right that it is probably a little bit too efficient. The idea of just making it like bringing the cost down slightly, and then making it that burn X instead of 1x times, I think I'm fine with.
Yeah. To be fair, this one only hits on standby icons, but that entire deck was meant to be played together. It also says gets 1,000 power, so you could just like cut the 1,000 power and pit it on all climaxes and like whatever.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah, I am just
Like
gonna.
you could work with the math a little bit. I can send you the card if you want me to.
I will need that resource for later. Yeah.
I mean, this is forbidden magic, and this is everything is permitted in terms of custom set design.
Yep. So let's go ahead and talk about this girl for a little bit. So she and Hina are good friends. You know, you got the bird lady who's like a kind of a priestess type, and then you have Runie here, who is another. So like IRL, I don't think she has the backstory that Leah has IRL, but as like her character backstory, she she was a nun. She's in like a convent type thing, and then she went rooting around in places and found some magic shit that kind of just turned her entire worldview on its head, and so now she is this sort of like dark sorcerer type. You know, she plays up to be like this like cool like edgy villain vibing character, but in reality she's kind of like an anime loving goofball. Which you know that's just how all VTuber lore goes. Insert the meme here. She also though. God, she has that fun twist of being like, oh, but she's one of like the hot girls who's super into nerd shit. It's like, yes, the kryptonite of every nerd ever.
And it's like, yes, the one we will never end up getting. It's fine.
She is the one of the losing heroines, presumably, because she never gets one.
She kind of gives that vibe of like she should totally be like a winning heroine in someone's story, but in her own she's just not.
The thing is, she doesn't want to win any of the people that are after her. The art on this climax is really good.
Mm. Yeah.
I mean, I'm digging the vibe in general with this whole card art package here.
Her fit looks so it's like color matched to Fischl from Genshin Impact.
Yep, I have seen the comparison made before.
It's very similar fit. That's pretty funny. And she's sending me the Chuni vibes too, which is like really funny. She's just missing the eye patch.
I think I'm going plus even. Like, this is really good. This is like stupid good.
Yep, that's why we're taking. I need to take the plus off because it's not staying the same. It's a minus because we're literally changing it as we're talking about it. All right, next up.
Kokoromo Memory. I love this card. I love this art. This character seems like she's cool. She's my type. I haven't even gotten into the lore. Cool thing with this card, 0/0, no soul icons. When this card is put into the waiting room from stage, if you have 2 or less cards in your memory, you may choose a Phase Kaleido in your waiting room and send it into your memory. This facilitates your cross turn 7k that gets the plus hand for free. And then also has the really cool effect of on play, pay 1, ditch 1. When it's played from stage, pay the cost, look at the top X cards of your deck, choose up to 1 among them, and then put it to your hand, send the rest into the waiting room. X is equal to the number of other Phase Connect characters you have on stage. That is similar to the on play that Locke has in Bang Dream. Sits at a similar power range, but also instead of the other stuff that they have, you get the memory condition met fairly easily, which is also compression, which is really sick. I love this card.
This is Pizza Girl.
Mm-hmm. It's Pizza Girl. It's a Dengeki card.
It's Ezio, I believe is her name.
Sounds right.
The card this is taken from puts a level 3 to memory that can like summon out by discarding 2. This card just puts a card in there that's going to stay there forever and just gives your condition for free. How silly. How dare you print this? Now.
We're discussing climax acquisition. This
Oh,
kind
yeah.
does that a lot. You don't really have that as a problem the majority of the time with this card.
I don't know if I'd give this profile an A, but I think it's very good in its own deck. I've played this card a lot. It's in my like Taiga Toradora focused thing, I play the Pizza Girl package.
Hmm.
Because A, climax assurance, B, you can stack the Taiga reverse effect onto the clock kick. Because that's the level 3
yeah.
that it summons out, which I think is kind of cool. Also, she's got memory in her name. I love memory. Memory's like one of my favorite mechanics of all time.
Yep.
But also you should just pay to put Kaleido in memory. Stop. Why did you print this? This second effect didn't even need to happen, but you did it anyway.
Because
Yeah, justify it. Justify it. I dare you.
I don't think I can mechanically. Flavor wise, this is probably the cheapest shot in this whole set. Her name is Memory. She is memory focused.
Perfect. She's gonna be my favorite character too, Kaze. You and me.
She is.
Yay!
She's
Get off my grill.
So she's Kaleido, which means that she is JP speaking. I don't know if I've ever heard her say a word in English. She's a little pixie girl. She may or may not be a princess. I do know she's at least a little fairy, but she's a little bit Menhara. Like, oh god.
I like the elf here.
She's like, I feel like I see like comparisons every now and again to like Rusha before she went crazy, like before she went like off the deep end, and I feel like I can kind of relate to that. She is like a more put together, even though that doesn't quite feel like the right word, but it really is. Like, she's a more self-contained, self-restrained Rusha, which is also fitting because she's pink, and I think she has there's a connection with their artists, which is funny.
Nice.
But yeah.
Support artists and not the scam ones. I just did a
I like
thumbs
the
up, and despite not being on camera, so you know.
Understandable. All right. Next up, the one card that isn't memory oriented.
Of course, I don't get the memory card. This is ridiculous.
You want to switch? I'll just read this really fast.
I don't give a shit, dude. I'm just fucking around. No getting away. Kokoromo Memory. If all your characters are face connect, this gets 1k. Continuous. The card facing this cannot move to another position of the center of the stage.
You're not getting away?
This is like pretty good for a common. You might run it, I guess. If you have Kaguya in your meta, like if you're, because I know some locals are like small, right? If you've got Kaguya still running around and they're like, all right, we're gonna play this K clean cut still, and you just feel like, not only can you not run, I'm gonna play 2 of them down. You can't clean cut that one either. You're just like, no.
Anti-meta option. I mean, like, that is completely valid. Like, sometimes at locals, like, I'll play, like, the Nextful counters just to, like, have sack outlets to deny on reverse effects for, like, what's the Hololive one that burns for 4 or 5? Mume? Like,
Oh yeah, the stack thing.
yeah, the Mume stack. And so, like, sometimes I'll just be like, did that guy show up? I'm gonna slide this back into the deck. It's in the other deck box. I'm like, is he here? I'm ready.
Wow.
And some easy,
Yeah.
a lot of decks, it's actually really easy to do that in.
My bad. I'm sorry,
No, bro.
Jerry.
No, bro, don't apologize. Tell that man to just stop playing on reverse effects in our year of our Lord 2025. As somebody who
To be fair, I think
plays
they're
that
all,
on
they're
reverse
all
combo
going
in summer
pretty good.
pockets. So.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, they're a bad person anyway, then, so they need to get out of here. Rusia players are the worst. They make me feel bad, and they should feel bad for that.
Understandable. All right.
Well,
There's a part of me that says no one burned the turn, but the turn order does actually kind of wind up mattering here. But it's a memory backup. Memory kick backup. I'm the memory character. She's waving her little magic wand to give you memory kick.
Mortal Kombat?
yeah. Mortal Kombat.
That's not anything close to
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat 2. It's fine.
I've basically never played Mortal Kombat.
Just Word association. I know the vibe.
I've never had a console other than Nintendo once, so
Somewhat relatable. All right. I technically read that one. I'm going to give Kaze this one so we can end on blank as we begin.
Floral Gift, Kokoromo Memory. We've got the 3/2, and it has an on-play draw and gain 2k power. So it sits at 12, and it's on a door, so you're going to be swinging it at 13, unassisted, and has a climax combo with a memory condition, which we know is fake. So it is on attack, pay 1, ditch 1. If the climax is in your climax area, and you have 2 or more phase kaleidos in your memory as the condition, which we already know is going to be fairly fake. You may pay the cost and either deal 2 and or 3 damage to your opponent. It is modular damage on a can-tripping door combo. I kind of like this.
It does have to see its end of attack, so not on attack, which is somewhat
My
relevant.
apologies.
But yeah, as Blank identified, it is the Himeno level 3 combo from CSM with a different on play.
dude, just imagine if Chainsaw Man had a card that sent the cigarettes event for free.
Oh God, right? Can you...
Like to 3 copies as well. Just imagine how free that would be. Like if we thought that deck was toxic before, imagine like they didn't even have to pay for it.
Yeah. I mean, at least we didn't print Himeno level 0 in this set, am I right? And the cigarettes in memory doesn't actually, like the event in memory doesn't do anything extra while it's in memory. It just is memory compression, which is enough.
If this was in like another set, or if there wasn't so much going on in this set, I would like this, or I like this a lot because I like generally like cantrippy, like socket or hand efficient, like burn combos that do like 2 to 3 damage that have like relatively easy conditions. But in the context of this set, I don't think that this is like really a play, but I do like it a lot. And flavor wise, it kind of seems neat with the 2 or more of the Kaleidos, and like just Kaleido being such a goddamn good package that this generally feels good.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have the kill range that the other routes in this set go.
Okay. Hear me out. We're doing stock charging phase Kaleido things. And then we play the on play burn, and we can actually use up more of our hand than like say a healing finisher would, because this one refunds itself. So in theory you could like do the on play burn stuff a little easier, and you just go into this because this is a lot simpler of a finisher than some of the other stuff that they're doing.
Yep.
Yep.
It's like you just kind of look at the efficiency on it and you're like chilling. Or if in some games you just kind of like compress and heal loop with the green early play, and then you're like kind of just playing the long game, and like that's sometimes enough to get you there because you're like stock charging with the coffee package, the 1 card coffee package. I mean,
It reminds me of Ari Ferretta in this sense, actually. Because while this restands a little bit different, this is it's end of attack stuff, you know? So you got to worry about the same things, and getting 2k on play helps with memory kick counter also. So it's like, I mean, this card's like pretty good. And if you just wanted to play like a simpler version of I'm going to play this thing that has main phase burn on it, and it's on door, like I like the card a lot too.
it has a bunch of things going for it. A couple other things to like note: the event. I forget the red event, the 1/0. You can power pump this up an extra 4k if you're actually concerned about the memory kit condition or getting reverses or winning in combat for the encore phase or end of attack props.
Then you
Um,
got cheat.
so like that is fairly relevant.
Oh, you put X-Wing in a set, and you pump this up, and it goes to level 4, and then you X-Wing your opponent, so then if they don't get their end of attack burn anyway, that would be so funny. Do you guys know what X-Wing is?
What does X-Wing do?
X-Wing event gives your character a Dachi at counter step.
Wow.
So
Brother.
I don't think Star Wars has an Adachi, or if it does, it's not in my friend's yellow deck anyway.
Mm.
So he plays X-Wing.
Dude, just
And
turn
it's
anything into an Itachi. That's sick.
yeah, it's so cool. I'm glad he's finally getting some good stuff. He really wants a 4 or more early play, or just a early play that's not 2 or less, because like every early play in Star Wars is a 2 or less condition.
Yeah.
Because the traits are all fucked, so they can't do like a
Four more trade.
4 more
Yeah.
traded.
And they decided that they don't want to do color like that. It's a little sad.
Yeah,
Another thing I appreciate on
funky.
this card is like it's the old Fate cantrip from like the Unlimited Blade Works cards.
Oh yeah.
Does the Himeno actually have this exact same text the whole way through?
No, she has a very different on play effect.
On
I think
text.
I think she heals on play.
yeah, she's just
Got
like
it.
a basic heal. What I was gonna do was have this be like a there's gonna be some real involved shenanigans where it's like, oh, it's a memory heal, but it's taking the heal cost was like take a copy of Phase Kaleido out of your memory and replace it with a traded like a character from your clock or something. It's like this is bullshit. We're just making this the drop with 2K.
I mean, just make it heal the memory. Who cares?
Well, because like
At level 3, it matters a lot less. You know what I mean?
that is true.
Actually, I kind of agree in that.
Yeah,
But within this profile, I think the way you have it is like really nice because it feels just like a cohesive card.
yeah, it just
Yeah.
feels better this way.
The last card I remember
If you decide to
having.
do an early play heal that can heal the memory, and then in set 2 for this character, then I think I would be fine with that.
Heal the memory's cool. They've started printing them more and more.
Yeah.
The one in from Shiny Colors is really good. You can only heal characters from her group, but they're the memory group.
Yeah.
And then if you have X amount of memory, it's also an on attack, pay one, pitch one, burn one. It's so dope. It's so good.
Brother.
Hinana.
What's her name? Yeah, I feel good about the fact that I restricted my memory shenanigans to just one character in this set. And there will be more of them, but I don't think I want to print a memory healer, an early play memory healer in this set. I think we're good. We have a blue. We'll see like my personal choice for an early play healer anyway. It'll be fine.
You just start stock charging, and then you're just like overplaying memory heals with other memory heals, and then you have the clock encore.
Uh-huh.
So you keep clocking, and then at least it's from top of deck, I guess. If it was clean, you could just heal all of your useless cards.
Yeah. God. Man. All right. Last up, we have our Blank has to actually read the card, but this is our sole graduate from this.
Oh, this has something with a standby trigger on it. What is going on here? Saya? Oh god.
I'm pretty sure it is just Sairroxs.
Sairroxs. Okay, yeah. It almost sounds like she's supposed to be a psychic instead of a dragon girl. When a climax with standby trigger icon is placed in your climax area, this card gets 1,000 power and the following ability until end of turn. When this card attacks, look at 2 from top of your deck. Choose 1 card from among them, put it on top of your deck, and send the rest to waiting room. 7K, choose your trigger with Hand Encore. I like this one better than the one that searches for Brainstorm.
Mm-hmm. Yep. If you're playing any 1/1 character with Hand Encore at all in your build, you're probably playing this one, and you're playing 8 standby to, just kind of value add.
Take advantage of 8 standby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like I've done an okay job at not making that easy. So she's Euphoria, the same gen as the Zack stuff. That's why she has the standby, because she's also in like the Runie group. She and Muu were like super tight. They were kind of like a duo. And originally, when I was making this set before she graduated, I had the two of them as like an 8-door deck. So like Muu was like an early game support thing, and then Saya was like your finisher, and they had like a Noelle Flair early play duo where it's like you play the Muyu, and then the Muyu got you the Saya, and then the Saya you played, but then instead of being the Noelle, that is like the decompression tool in Hololive, a decompression tool in Hololive. This was like it gets your combo. So then it was like the Saya, and the Saya was a combo that went and did like some like fairly like safe burn stuff. I think it was like an on reverse that was like, like you needed it on reverse, but like you're also feeling chill because it's a good enough burn for the payoff of that or something. It's a little bit iffy because this was like months and months ago, and then she graduated, and I was like, well, shit, what am I gonna do about this? And I was like, well, on the one hand, it means that I can make the set smaller, and I don't have to worry as much about finding art. But on the other hand, it means that, damn, we lost one, which was a little sad.
It's fine.
Another
She'll get a
character that's-
promo and set too.
She will, actually, yeah. I have the art and picked out and everything. Her and the CEO both get art for the PRs.
Called it.
Mhm.
I'm him. I'm starting to read you like a book, JB.
I try to keep myself relatively open. It's just people don't get to see the epilogue. That's where the secret shit is. And I guess there's like the bit at the end, like the index. Yeah, the full index we keep hidden. But you get the table of contents, it's fine. But yeah, this has been... Oh, by the way, actually, real note. Her artist... her artist is Roll Sheep. Some people who watch Hololive may vaguely recognize who that is. But I have to remember which of the Hololive girls they did art for. Yes, she drew Gigi, and she also drew Red Penrose. And if you know anything about me, you know that Gigi Murrin is my favorite gremlin, and Red Penrose is also just one of my favorite goofballs as a VTuber. So, like, yeah, how can you not win with that combo?
W's.
Yeah. GG. All right, with that happy note, thanks for watching. And tune in next time where we finish breaking Blank's heart with Blue. Till then.
This makes sense. Yeah. Peace.